Women do what you allow them to do, and vice versa with the women. A man gonna do what you allow him to do, and if you don't know your worth, you'll put up with that bullshit. But when you know your worth and you know you don't have to put up with it, you ain't gonna put up with it.
The girl was like, well, if I decide I want to wear a string bikini, to the beach and all that, I don't deserve to be harassed. And if you got a problem with that as my man, that's a problem. He was like, look, I'm not, like, you shouldn't be harassed. You're right. You shouldn't be harassed. However, they got creeps out there. Period. There are creeps out there. And so you have to be mindful. He's like, I'm not worried about my woman per se. She fine and she put it out. Okay, cool. However, they gonna have somebody that's gonna disrespect that boundary. They gonna have somebody that's gonna do something to handle because they don't have the respect.
Right.
That's who I'm looking out for. That's who I'm afraid of you attracting, right? And stuff. And so that's real talk. Like, you're going to attract the creeps with that. A woman is tight because she's nervous. It's a muscle. So if I'm nervous and I'm not comfortable, then it's gonna be tight. That don't mean necessarily that it's just
preach my thumbnail, cause when you're loose and like that, you wanna know what we doing? We getting ready to orgasm. It's called bottoming out. We're letting that bottom drop so you can hit what we need you to hit, so we can get what we want. If you notice, every time before the orgasm, it goes loose. Pay attention. Before her orgasm, not your orgasm is tight because she's working for you. Her orgasm is loose every time. She don't squeeze during the orgasm. She squeezes after the orgasm because she's trying to stop. It's a reflex after. And I'm sorry, y'all not moving, shaking. I got my phone in my hand. That's how I keep my glasses. That's how it works.
There are some decent women out there that may have kids that are able to hold it down for themselves and still be able to accept a man into their lives in a man's role. So
see, the thing is, when you just say you be the woman that's holding it down by herself, this is the problem right here. In today, in the 21st century, a lot of women, they don't want to have no damn discipline. They don't want no man to come in and tell them what to do. They don't want to follow no rules. They want to sit there and say they want a strong man. As soon as that man show up and start trying to lay down structure and foundation, they flee. Oh, you trying to boss me around. You trying to tell me what to do. All this nonsense. You want me to be submissive. I ain't no slave.
No, Rick,
all this goofy shit.
You narcissistic. That's the new word.
Yeah, that or toxic masculinity. All these other shaming tactics they got trying to do to hate women.
Facebook, what it is. YouTube. What's up? What's going down? I am your host, DJ Blakk, and welcome to Speak On It Podcast Part 2, Season 2, that is. Okay, tonight we got an interesting topic. We got a couple people that's gonna tune in and chime in and comment in on it. Back and forth bash between men and women over this whole body count thing. Some say it matters. Some say it don't. Why even bring it up? So should it even be brought up when you're thinking about getting married, settling down, looking for a baby mama or baby daddy? Some women don't like guys that got high body counts. but they will accept them quicker than a man will accept a woman with a high body count. Some women don't like men that have outside children, a lot of children out of wedlock. It's just a ongoing battle. And we're gonna have some people to chime in tonight and get their opinions on it. So until the guests start chiming in around 8 o'clock, that's when everybody's gonna be chiming in after 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern. But I always start out with a little news to warm things up. And the first thing in the news is Donald Trump. He done got himself in some things. He's been escaping everything. But when it comes to this Georgia election thing, I don't think he's gonna get away squeaky clean with it. They're really looking to indict him on these the charges dealing with the election. So we're gonna see what he got going on. But Donald Trump, I'm up in the air. I'm not pro-Trump. I'm not against Trump. But here we go. This is what's going on with Donald Trump.
In Georgia, preparations now underway for former President Donald Trump to turn himself in to face his latest criminal indictment. With an August 25th deadline looming, the Fulton County Sheriff's Office says it's expected Mr. Trump and the 18 other defendants will be booked at the county jail like anyone else arrested there, though it's not known when the former president plans to show up. The Trump team continuing to attack the prosecution on air and online, even with help from GOP rivals.
We see the legal system being weaponized against political opponents. That is un-American and unacceptable.
Mr. Trump said he will prove fraud took place in Georgia's election at a news conference next week, a claim quickly refuted by the state's Republican governor, Brian Kemp, who posted the 2020 election in Georgia was not stolen. Our elections in Georgia are secure, accessible, and fair. Among those charged, along with the former president, attorney Rudy Giuliani, who made a name for himself as a prosecutor using racketeering laws to take down the mafia in New York, now facing similar charges.
This is a ridiculous application of the racketeering statute. There's probably no one that knows it better than I do.
Still unclear whether this latest indictment will change voters' minds about Mr. Trump.
Yep.
Why do you
Sick of him.
You're sick of him?
Yep. He's got to go.
The Democrats are scared to death, and they'll do anything they can to keep a Republican, much less Donald Trump, get in office.
The first Republican debate for the 2024 nomination is just a week away.
It's expected that many of those charged in Georgia will push to move the trial from state to federal court. In fact, the chief of staff for former President Donald Trump, Mark Meadows, became the first to file a motion to that effect yesterday. In Washington, Chris Pallone, NBC News.
Quita, what's happening with you?
What is up?
They trying to get your man Trump, right? Hey, he's down there in Georgia. It ain't looking too good for him down here. They said they're gonna trial him just like they do anybody else.
I doubt it. 2 reasons.
So what's been happening with you?
What do you think those 2 reasons are?
The reason what?
That it's not gonna stick.
It's not gonna stick.
What do you
because
think?
He's Donald Trump.
2 reasons. Not just because he's Trump. He's white and he's rich.
You don't supposed to say that. That's because he's Donald Trump. But he done beat everything. Okay. He touching on women. He beating it. So I don't know though. It's gonna be tough because you got that DA lady, the one that got Young Thug them hemmed up. She don't play. So you got her, you got Abrams, who felt like she was robbed. So he ain't gonna just, I don't know.
So you think it's gonna stick?
I don't know, man. But I'm keeping an eye on that one. That one woke me up. Because all the other stuff he was getting in, I knew he was gonna get off. But Georgia coming for him. So I'm gonna have to see. And it's the brotherly hood, city of brotherly love. So I gotta see this. Now, I got you on here. I can get a little messy early. So let me get my news out the way. And we gonna get messy early because I already know your mouth. Your mouth with an F.
I'm going to control myself.
You're gonna try to control it.
I am.
All right, we gonna see.
Okay.
The next thing is Neo in the news. And that was one of my favorite artists. Favorite writer next to Babyface. He in the news for speaking his opinion on the kids being able to choose their genders when they not even old enough to really, barely old enough to read. And he spoke out on it. And he got a lot of backslash. His publicist came out and you know how they have people behind the scenes typing apology. Neo didn't like that shit. So he came out and was like, that ain't it. That was my publicist. And he spoke his mind. So big up to the brother for that. But this is what happened. This is what he said.
I have no issue with the LBGT. I have no problem with nobody. Okay,
Right.
Love who you love, do what you do.
Exactly.
I just personally come from an era where a man was a man and a woman was a woman, and it wasn't but two genders, and that's just how I rocked.
Me
now,
too.
you could identify as a goldfish if you feel like.
Right.
I don't care. That ain't my business. It becomes my business when you try to make me play the game with you. I'm not finna call you a goldfish, but you want to be a goldfish, you go be a goldfish. It's all
Amen.
good. I mean,
Well said.
it's just, we live in a weird time, man. I feel like I feel like parents have almost forgotten what the role of a parent is.
Amen.
It's like, okay,
Lost control.
if your little boy comes to you and says, Daddy, I want to be a girl, and you just let him rock with that,
Right.
he's 5.
Right. And where did he get that
If
from?
you let this 5-year-old boy decide to eat candy all day, he's going to do that.
Exactly.
Like, when did it become a good idea to let a 5-year-old, let a 6-year-old, let a 12-year-old make a life-changing decision for themselves?
Right.
When did that happen?
Right.
Like, I don't understand that. I don't get that.
Keep
He
them
can't
up.
drive a car yet, but he can decide his sex.
Right. Oh, right. What sex orientation? And he can cut off his pee-pee, and that, to me, that makes no sense
And
whatsoever.
I don't know if this is true, but I heard a rumor that they either passed or are trying to pass a law in LA that states if your child comes to you and asks to do some of these things and you say no, they can take your kid from you.
Yeah, that's true. Just passed in California.
That makes no sense. Remember who you're dealing with. Like I can't take credit for it, but I heard somebody say one time, he's like, all right, if your son comes to you and says, Daddy, I want to be a girl, ask your son, what is a girl?
That's a good one.
What is he going to do? He's going to say, well, he might want to play with dolls. All right, you want to play with dolls. Fine, play with dolls.
Right.
But you're a boy
Right.
playing with dolls.
That's
I want
right.
to wear pink. All right, cool, wear pink. But you're a boy
That's right.
wearing pink.
I was a town boy. I still love boy sneakers and I love my baseball cap. Doesn't mean I want to be a man.
Right.
I just like
style preference is
That's
one thing.
right.
Gender selection is
But
a
I like
whole
playing
other
sports too. Doesn't mean that I should become a boy.
thing. Not at all.
Yeah.
Not at all.
And so he made that statement. Hey, what's happening?
Chilling.
Chanel, what's happening then?
Chilling. I get my little meal in before we get started.
So he made that statement. And the whole LGBT, I call them alphabet community, got mad and started saying stuff. So when they started trying to say stuff and down him, his publicist put out a little statement and apologizing. And
It looked fake.
Neo was like, nah, that's not what I said. And so he got gangster with it. The little perfect gentleman got a little gangster with it, and he came back. But he
What's
from
going on,
Arkansas.
loved ones? This is Neo. All right, listen. I normally don't give too much of a damn about what y'all think about what I do, what y'all have to say about what I say, whatever. I normally don't care because, like I said, opinions ain't special. Everybody got one. However, this is something I feel very strongly on, and I need y'all to hear this from the horse's mouth, not the publicist's computer. So check this out. First and foremost, I do not apologize for having an opinion on this matter. I am a 43-year-old heterosexual man raising 5 boys and 2 girls, okay? That's my reality. Now, if my opinion offended somebody, yeah, sure, I apologize for you being offended because that wasn't my intention. My intention is never to offend anybody. However, I'm entitled to feel how I feel. I'm absolutely entitled to feel how I feel the same way you are entitled to feel how you feel. I ain't asked nobody to follow me. I ain't asked nobody to agree with me. I was asked a question and I answered the damn question. Okay? I have no beef with the LGBTQIA plus community whatsoever. I ain't got no beef with y'all. Do whatever the hell it is you want to do. Do what you want to do with your kids. However, somebody asked my opinion on this matter, and this is how I feel. I will never be okay with allowing a child to make a decision that detrimental to their life. I will never be okay with that. I don't care. I definitely plan to educate myself a little bit more on this matter. However, I doubt that there's any book anywhere or any opinion that somebody's going to tell me that's going to make me okay with letting a child make a decision like that. That's just period, point blank, and that's how I feel. If I get canceled for this, then you know what? Maybe this is a world where they don't need a Neo no more, all right? And I got no problem with that. I'm a hustler, all right? I'll figure it out. I got kids to raise, and I'm going to do that regardless. So, with that being said, y'all have a good day. I love everybody. Live how you want to live, love how you want to love, but your opinion is yours. Speak your opinion as much as you damn well feel like it. Because as I said, they're not important. They're not special. Everybody got one, and you're entitled to it. I'm entitled to mine, all right? Y'all feel how y'all want to feel. Have a great day. It's Neo. Peace and love.
Absolutely.
I know, right? You from Arkansas.
I love that.
Chanel. Name Arnell. She from Arkansas.
You know?
And Neo from Arkansas. So you see that little mentality, don't you? He don't give up and she don't either.
That's real talk though. Like that is his opinion, and he have a right to express his opinion if he's asked, and that's how he feel about it. Like that's legit.
But when did the world become so that we can't voice our opinion? And I get slack, from what I say on here. I'm talking about I went to town. I creeped in the Strop City this weekend. I had a party to do down there. And quite a few people came up and was talking about the podcast. Oh, let me hush for you say something bad about women. Let me go. And they coming out. I was in a women beauty mart thing down there, and let me go for you say something. I was like, I ain't got nothing to say about you. I'm just speaking my mind on how I feel. It's really not really how I feel, it's what I see going on. I'm just voicing my opinion. Exactly. But they really take this stuff, you know what I'm saying, to heart.
They take it personal.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it is. It's taking it personal.
I mean, and what I like about mature people, like you and I, Quita and I've had conversations with Quita, and she'll disagree with me all day, but she understands at the end of the day, that's his opinion.
That's how you feel about it.
I disagree with her and you, but at the end of the day, that's your opinion, and we, you know what I'm saying? But then I may sit back and say, because I respect her,
right?
Let a few days go by, and I'll wake up and I'll say, well, now what was Quita talking about? Now I go back and either read a text or something, and I say, you know what?
Right.
She got a point.
Right.
And maybe I do need to, because I have no problem working with myself. Just like Neo said, he'll go and read on it, but he don't think it's a book or nothing, because that's what his publicist said.
Right.
He'll educate him more. And he was like, so he brought that back up because I guess he didn't fire his publicist. He said, yeah, I'll go back and do some more studies on it, but I don't think there's no book that's going to change my mind on how I feel about it. Yeah. And like I said, that's a southern guy.
That is the thing. It wasn't an attack on the community at all. What it was is the underlying premise is the decision is a life-changing decision, and you're giving it to a kid, right?
Yeah, that was the point.
That's the point.
That was the point. But people so quick to
had the same thing going on, he would have felt the same way,
But with people so quick to react,
but
they want you to say something.
They have more rights than Blakk.
They what now?
Yeah,
they have more rights than Blakk people.
Yeah, I mean that whole movement. They have more rights than gays. You know what I'm saying? The train. At first, we were accepting the gays. We was like, okay, you gay. Just keep that over there, Because at first, when the gays first started coming out, I ain't gonna lie, I was like this. I was grabbing, I was grabbing crosses, like I was like Satan's Lot. You ain't get away from me.
But why is he referred to them as gays as if they are another species?
That's how you do. That's why I'm going to say, you know,
I mean, when they first got
right?
introduced,
you know, I'm a part of that community. So
okay.
I'm not tripping.
When it first was introduced, we used to say they were just filming them acting. They sucked on their mama's breast a little too long. You know, we used to say, hey, he just filmed them. He sucked on his mama's titty too long. That's what we used to say.
He got sugar in the tank. That's what they used to say.
Sugar in his tank, we kind of figured that they was the other way. But we used to just say they had they sucked on their mama's breast a little too long. And then
been around his mama too much.
they started being jumped on. They started being jumped on. Then they started calling it gay bashing. And then when you finally meet somebody that come out of the closet that you know are new, and you was like, wow, man, I never knew. You know what I'm saying? And then it still was hard to accept, but it is who it is. And then you got your mom and your aunt and everybody preaching to you that you have no control. They still the same person that you're some kin to, or that you grew to love. They just like and do other things.
Yeah.
And it still was kind of hard. So we did all that, and then we got the gays accepted. They stopped beating them up, this and that, and that. Okay. Then came this huge movement with this transgender. So I'm thinking they learned what the gays didn't do. So when we come out, we gonna be enforced. You know what I'm saying? And then it's to the point where if anybody say anything negative against them, especially in Hollywood, you get canceled. You know, it's crazy.
A lot of the issue with the trans community though is they're not accepted by anybody, not even LGBTQIA community.
Oh,
like, so even within the community, like there are so many that's like, you know, I can't remember whose stand up I was looking at, but I think it was Dave Chappelle, might have been Dave Chappelle, but he was talking about how in a car full of LGBTQIA, and he was ranking everybody. Okay, so you got the gay male, then you got the lesbian. Way back in the back where nobody wants to be bothered with is the trans person, right? They like, I don't even know if I want you to get in this car. And so it's just something that everybody doesn't get and doesn't understand, right? And stuff like that. And everybody not gonna get it or understand it. I understand it a lot more because my daughter's married to a trans man, you know, and so I get the inside track and I watch the entire transition, right? And stuff like that. And I'm fully accepting. I'm fully accepting and all that. And wow. I don't pretend to understand things I don't understand, right? I just have respect for it.
Now, my thing is so transgenders, they're still gay. So why not accept them? You want everybody to accept you. And another thing
that I don't get either, and they're not necessarily gay. It depends on how they identify, right?
Okay.
Which makes it totally confusing. Don't get me wrong, make it totally confusing. Right.
Now, another thing I don't agree with is gay people want us to understand them, but then when you start asking questions, they get upset and what you need to know for, and
because I'm trying to understand.
I'm trying to understand you.
Because I'm trying to educate myself, right?
Right.
And I feel the same way, even like as Black folk, because we always like, it's not our job to educate, blah, blah, blah. Well, to an extent, it is, right? Because if somebody is sincerely coming to you and asking, and they want to know sincerely, then I'm gonna tell them, I'm gonna educate them, right? You know, right. So I don't take a stance of it's not my job. Yeah, I'm not gonna be your Encyclopedia Britannica, you know, and I'm not gonna be Google, but I will answer some questions personally, so you'll know from the Black person's mouth, all right? You know, and most trans people that I know will answer those questions as well and try to explain to you and break it down or whatever, you know. The best explanation that I've ever heard, and I should have, I was, if I'd known was gonna talk about this, I would have sent it to you, Blakk. But
we're gonna go deeper in that.
A spiritual standpoint, right? That the natives used to believe in, and probably still do, in 5 gender spirits, where there was a woman in a woman's body, a man in a man's body, a man in a woman's body, a female spirit in a male's body, and one that was pretty neutral, right? And stuff, that it was either or. And they talked about it from a spiritual standpoint. So there's a book, and I want to get referring to that to kind of educate myself. But that's the first, because I am spiritual, right? And I believe in the things of the spirit. And so I was like, now that might make some sense, because this is a body that our spirit is living in, right? Not, we are not bodies that, like, we are not this body, right? We are a spirit living.
A vessel.
This is the vessel, right? And so if the vessel might not match the spirit. I could have been a man in my former life, right? In a different vessel. Who knows, right? But and does the spirit of itself, is it gendered? We don't know, right?
Right.
So that kind of helped me expand, my thought process about it and all that. Now I am on the same page with Neo with regard to, I would not allow a child to make a life-changing decision. I want to make them feel, I don't care how you dress. I just don't care how you dress. Like, however you choose to present, My best friend's kid is totally androgynous. If she put on male clothes, she looked like a boy. If she put on female clothes, she looked like a girl. And this lady in the store one day was like, where's your son? I was like, what son? What are you talking about? And she was like, he looked just like her. I was like, he is her. And it just depends on what she feel like putting on that day. I used to be a tomboy. I used to dress in boy clothes, right? And stuff like that. But like, so that it in itself is not a big deal for me or whatever. And how you choose to identify is not a big deal for me. I'm not like old boy on Coming to America. Mama call him Cassius. I'm gonna call him Cassius.
Right.
And all that. Whatever you choose is what I will respect.
Now you ladies get away with it a whole lot different than a man to get away with.
I know.
Because if a man come in there walking in,
that's different than when a man and a man. It's different.
It's different, because if a man that a man walk that you ain't seen since high school, walk into Super One with a damn dress on, you gonna notice him quicker than you would a woman with a hat on, with a baseball hat and a jersey.
That's very true.
So you guys get away with it. Y'all can cover it up a hell of a lot better than a damn man. Because when we see a woman, we have to guess: is she a tomboy, or is she
a stud?
Does she have a liquor license? We have to, I said I was gonna try to change. I'm gonna try to change my language on here. So we have to guess with a woman, but when you see that dude walk up in there and they goddamn dress doing his hands like that and rolling his neck, you automatically know what's going on. You know what side of the fence is playing.
Another thing too. Why they so extra? Why you gotta be so flamboyant?
Right.
I said that on the last podcast.
And I know the men in the gay community who are disgusted by that too themselves, right? Within the community. People are like, you ain't got to do all that, dude.
So we like, y'all don't even act like that. I don't know what.
It's the extra.
I don't know what they got. I'm thinking it's the over the top ghetto, over the top ghetto female that they trying to act like when Jamie Foxx used to do Wanda.
Wanda, yeah. That
you
makes
picked
sense.
the most
ghettoist.
And who did Martin play?
Shanae.
Yeah.
So them gays actually try to act like them, because y'all don't even act like. I'm like, women don't even act like that, But when they being extra and trying to be extra ghetto, chewing the bubble gum, talking to stuff, doing that, that's how they act. And I brought that up. And when we do the show on the trans community, when we touch up on it, I said I'm cool with the girl from Power. I mean, from what was his first show that came out with
America
with Cookie Lion and all them?
Oh yeah, that's
Cookie Lion them. What was that?
Empire.
I'm cool with the rapper girl from there. She can rap and she cool. I'm cool with her. Hold up a minute. Let me find this girl.
That's the same one that play on All
What's
American,
her name? Chanel, you know who I'm talking about.
Oh man.
Dark skinned chick with short hair.
Yeah, the dark skinned one with the short hair.
She plays on All American.
All American. Yeah.
She
That
started out on Empire as the rapper, like first season. She the one that got shot.
Well, I can't think of that girl.
Yeah, that. And now I'm cool with Breezy. I'm cool with her.
Okay. Okay.
You know why I'm cool with her? Because she's not extra.
She not.
She's smooth.
Classy.
She's smooth. I could be around her all day. She cool. She's like, and then around her, you really think she's a dude because of how smooth, you know. And she's on a reality show now. It's a dating reality show with her and a girlfriend on there, and they're actually showing how they really, really act. And she's just a laid back, cool ass nigga. You know, I'm like, it's not over the top. He just doing his thing, and I'm like, okay, I can feel him. I can relate to her, and you know, I'm calling him a him. So yeah, but yeah, they just a little too extra. So we're gonna talk about it. I'm gonna get one or two on here, but I have to be discreet about what I ask. So I'm probably gonna have to talk with them.
Being respectful and asking them what they're okay with talking.
Yeah.
And all that.
You know?
And it's touchy, of course, because you know, everybody feels they feel like everybody's against them, and for the most part, in general, that like even their own community, right? And so there's always this guard up, you know, like, you know, are they bringing me on here to exploit me, or are they bringing me on here to really understand?
Yeah.
You know?
And that's why one or two was like, nah, I'll answer whatever questions. I'll talk to you about it, but I don't want to go live. But they're afraid somebody gonna come on here and say something.
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay, I'm respecting this. They was like,
sexuality too.
No.
So the key is what?
But still, you still don't want to be attacked.
When gay put on a wig, a cross dress, that's when it becomes trans, right?
When they
or is it when they get the sex change?
No, but this is the thing. The identification comes from within. It doesn't matter whether you have a vagina or a penis. It's a matter of what they truly feel like from the inside. And those feelings have been conflicting their entire life, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's just like I've been attracted to females my entire life, but I dare not say anything out loud because I didn't grow up in a community where that was accepted, right? And so it took till I was grown on my own and be like, fuck everybody, I'm gonna just be me, right? And stuff, and explore that part of me and all that. But if you grow up and everybody is against you and it's just against the norm and all that kind of stuff, then you don't say anything. So you live conflicted, you know, you live just conforming, and that's a miserable life to live. And then when you do come out, everybody's like, ew, yeah, you know, and all that shit. So that's a hard life to live. See, look at you.
No, Nelly, no, not my sister.
You know, I mean, I had a friend at the time when everybody found out I was bisexual, and I started dating this girl, and she was like fucking heartbroken, like she was devastated, and I was like, why? I'm the same person, you know. I'm just dating the chick instead of a dude, you know, and all that. Oh, you thinking about every time that we just slept in the same bed together? If that was the case, I probably would have came on to you. Like, I mean, you know, and stuff like that. Like,
that's what I had to learn, because I have quite a few of them that are DJ Blakk fans, and they come to the clubs and stuff that I'm DJing at, and they would be standing up there when I get in there to set up. And I used to complain, like, why are they up here? You know, I don't want people thinking this and saying that. But then when somebody was saying something negative, they was the first one, you ain't finna talk about DJ Blakk. And I was like,
right.
So I had to learn to, long as they don't come on to you, they good. But it just took me a minute to understand that, to grasp that, because like one or two need a ride home. So just imagine, you know, the DJs get paid and we leave the club like some of the last people leave the club. And then here go these gays or transgenders standing outside and they want to ride home. Mm-hmm. Haters looking for anything in that little ass town to put any stain on your name.
Right.
So if I take these gay people home or these transgenders home and they get in the car
Now
with me
y'all
at night,
together.
they're gonna say, I'm finna go and mess with them, or they messing with me, and then they go to, you know what I'm saying? But at some point, you know, where does it stop? You know what I'm saying? The just so that's when I learned to stop judging.
Right.
But I still don't quite understand, you know what I'm saying, the whole concept. Like, you know, I don't understand it.
You know, and usually people are afraid of that which they don't understand, you know, and so they compartmentalize it, they judge it, they, you know, do that to it. You about to bring it up again. And stuff. But you have to gain again until we have somebody that's within our clique or in our family or until you know somebody personally, then you start getting a clue. You're like, oh, they just like the same sex, right? You know, and you know, and in the same way and manner, right? Because just like I agree with the concept of, okay, I would not allow my child to change their gender, right? I would allow them to express it in whatever way they choose, because that's neither here nor there, right? And all that. They got some kids that's like, I want to be Superman. I want to wear my Superman outfit every day. That's not harmful. Like, you know, that's how they feel in the moment. This too might pass, right? And all that. But let them express that so they don't feel like they can't express themselves, right? And stuff. Because the goal here is that when they get older and become adults, that they can express themselves appropriately and they can stand up for themselves and how they feel and whatever the case may be. If a child, but I do definitely feel like, you know, if a child is attracted to the same sex, there's no too young age for that, because we already, you got a little boyfriend, you got a girl, you got a little boyfriend in class. Like, we already like socialize them in that way anyway, right? And when people are like, I don't understand how kids, how you know if you gay in the 5th grade. Well, how old was you when you saw your first little girl or boy of the opposite sex and said, oh, they cute? Usually it's kindergarten, 1st grade. Oh, I like him. No, I want him to be my boy. You know, in that, if we keep
I had 2 girls
out of it, it's just pure that's what you're attracted to. I think he or she is cute, right?
Yeah.
And stuff like that, you know. But I think the issue with that is because it's sexual orientation, right? And stuff like that. And so we sexualize it and think about it in the kid's sense, and you're like, oh, because I don't understand. Like, you know, you wasn't like 15 years old when you decided I like girls. Like, you was a kid. You was a kid and you was like, oh, daddy, she cute. She cute. You know, I think I want her to be my girlfriend, you know? And so same thing with anybody that's homosexual. They was attracted to the same sex. They was like, she cute, you know? But if they weren't if that wasn't accepting, and she came home and said, this guy like this girl at school, she cute, right? And then your mom and daddy is like, what the hell? You know, and you in trouble for it. Well, I dare not say that ever again, right? And so we just live in a world now where parents are being more accepted of who and however this child is. No, they should not be going to get surgery before. I mean, there's certain, if you can't enter into a contract and it's not a life-threatening thing, no, wait until you can make that decision yourself on your, like, that's an adult decision, right? And all that. But if you want to express your identified gender by wearing a jumpsuit instead of a dress, go for it. It's not harmful. I just don't think that's harmful.
Well, I can't see my sons walking around here in a goddamn dress. I'm sorry. I feel what you're saying, and I ain't got nothing against it.
But if he did,
and women get away with it, like I say.
If he did, would you
he won't.
Your baby?
He won't.
Not answer my question.
Not in this house. That's an adult decision.
So you're saying that you would reject him if he walked in there with a dress? You would reject him?
Yeah, I eject him, one out of the other. But that's an adult. I'm gonna tell you,
it's more harmful than him wearing a dress, though.
Hey, that's what I call an adult decision. And when you're grown and you out this house, like my mama used to tell us, you want to smoke weed, you want to drink, you do that when you get out my house. But why you in my house? So while we in here, we gonna wear jeans, we gonna put on underwear, and we gonna act like we like girls. Now, when you ain't in my presence and you out my house, you can do whatever, because I ain't got nothing to do with you. But we're gonna make sure that you don't have the key to the house when I take the key from the house, and you on your own. Do whatever you want, because I ain't even got to see you no more. I did my job.
Anybody out there got a parent like that? Sign up for services. I get it.
No.
My guy said we gonna act like.
Yeah.
We like her.
We gonna act
You
like.
ain't act like it around me. When you see me walk the room, say, "Ooh, damn, Beyonce fine." Then when I leave, man, I'm gonna look at Young Thug. I ain't got no problem with that, as long as I don't know. So yeah.
Oh Lord.
Okay.
I'm not doing that.
You got to do
Not
that.
with the boys. Not with the boys. I'm sorry, but I feel what you're saying though, and I don't knock nothing you saying. But it's just not going. But what they said, what them things you should say. As for me and my house, what that little thing, we will serve the Lord. As for me and my house, we gonna be whatever we were born. You know.
Understood.
Oh, mercy. Oh gosh. Oh, you gotta love him. You gotta love him. You just gotta love him.
Yeah, that is. It is what it is, man. On that.
Word.
I got both.
Mm-hmm.
So.
I feel that. You know. So.
So. I got a guy coming on here later on, and he gonna express what he feel about this topic. Me. Personally, I got it's up in the air with me on the topic of the night. It's up in the air.
Let's go.
I have my opinion. I have my thoughts. I also have because I'm not traditional 100% and I'm not modern either. I'm kind of in the middle of both. I'm a little of both. So I understand. And like I often tell Chanel, it's because of the psychology. I advise anyone who goes to college today, no matter what your major is, do take a course of psychology, because it makes you see that you can really apply that to life. You know, Pavlov's theorem and all that. You can actually apply that to life, and it'll make you see things when one side of you disagree. It makes you more understanding. And had I not took that, and I did 2 years of that as a minor. Had I not done that, I think mentally with my views, I would really be messed up, because my mind would be one track without me understanding.
Right.
It taught me to view it from someone else's lens, and I used to wouldn't do that. And so when it comes to the body counts, and and before I get into that, when you were talking about that the 5 genders or whatever, and man and a woman, woman and a man, and the thing, that's what that symbol is, the original symbol of like medicine, when they had a thing with the arms open, and it's just a being, and that symbolizes that. And they was like, that's really what Adam was before they made before Eve came into play. So that gets deep.
I do get it.
So it was just ironic you brought that up, and I thought about that. But they say it's traditional. The traditional man want a wholesome woman. The modern man don't care. You know.
And I can define wholesome.
Wholesome meaning
HOE.
You know what wholesome is. You know what
But does wholesome mean less than a number, or wholesome mean a virgin? Like, what does wholesome mean?
I guess one who makes sound decisions about her body. You know what I'm saying? Just that, like me, when I see a lot of people, and I used to drink. I used to get it in, man. I was, dude, you know, I used to hang with white people, and they taught me how to drink. I know how to do flaming Dr. Peppers. I'm talking about, we used to play bullshit with Secret 7, I used to drink, and every man, all my brothers are alcoholics, so I got it honest.
Mm-hmm.
But when you get older, and I started reading and seeing what it was doing to people, the liver problems, and all that, I learned. And then when I went to Jackson State and I started being around the Muslims, I became a 5% nation, and
Okay.
they preach the body is your temple. You know what I'm saying? I was doing the eat to live. I was even vegetarian for about 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
So I experiment with a lot. And when I learned the body was your temple, it wasn't that hard for me to stop drinking.
Okay.
You know, because like I say, my brothers was drinking themselves under the table. I got one that still drink like a fish to this day. And I'm like, I don't participate. So women, to me, being the fact that you guys bear children, you guys are really, we strong physically. You guys are run rings around us, emotional. You know, women are strong. You could really take more pain than us because I don't know how we're having to push out a baby. So
you wouldn't.
So and the wife always tell me she want to get this little thing and I wear it. Yeah, she want me to wear it because I always be saying the cramps ain't nothing. Just shake it out. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Put a heat pad on it and come on, let's go. You know.
That's what you think.
But it's not that easy, you know. So you guys, we were taught that women mother civilization. You guys, we were taught that you guys are queens. You know what I'm saying? So then if you grew up with Big Mama and Big Mama had influence on your mom and all of your aunts, and you 5, 6, 7 years old growing up with them, going to church, because they made us go to church back then. I've been talking about every damn time the damn church door was open. We was in church, Bible school.
We got Bible study on Wednesday, and then we got choir rehearsal on Saturday morning, and then we got and men's.
See you at 5 o'clock. You go home just long enough on that Sunday. You go home long enough to eat and maybe get you a nap. Now you gotta put the same shiny shoes back on to go to church for BTU. And I was like, man, look. And then in the summer you trying to chill. Then you got vacation Bible school. So growing up in the church like that. Now we don't know, you know, what they was doing behind closed doors, but when they come out to the church and at all the church functions, they carry themselves a certain way. And they preach to us because we were mannish as hell. You know what I'm saying? We looking at Sister Clara like, man, you see that age. You know what I'm saying? And ooh, man, you know, we checking out the deacons' wives and we couldn't wait to hug them where we put our head in their bosoms and them breasts, put our heads in there and hug them. You know, I was mannish as hell, you know. And this at the church. Smelling that double mint gum, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And they take the handkerchief out with the change in it to put it in the electric plate, in the plate, you know. So that's why David has said traditional people, the body count, they would have an issue with body count. And then another guy stated on there that if you fall in love, that doesn't matter. You know, it wouldn't matter.
Yeah.
And I look at even what I used to say on here. And like I say, I use this as therapy. Just like a lot of people inbox me and say, hey, man, I learned this about myself from watching your podcast. I never thought about this, man. Keep doing what you're doing. And I tell them all the time, I learned from it.
Yeah.
Because when I first jumped out on here, I was wide open. It's this, it's that, it's this, it's that. Then when the therapist came on here, the affairian came on here, different people was like, hey, man, I hear what you're saying, but this ain't this and this ain't that. Think what you want. And I was like, you know what? I'll shoot them down. Then when I get off and I watch it again, I say, you know what? They got a point, you know. So then I'll come back a week or two later and thank them for, educating me on certain things. But I hate that because some of my sayings, like the woman and the pole, that was my saying.
That was your saying.
A man got a pole, a woman got a hole. So when you do this and that, it gets wide and wide and wide and wide, used out. Then they come back and say, man, that thing snapped back like a rubber band. I'm like, damn, y'all was fucking up my That's my key thing. I'm the pole in the hole. And I preach that all my life.
That's why y'all don't be knowing when she cheats.
Dude. Exactly. And I usually study the female anatomy, but that part I really, because I listened to what my peers would say. And the men before me, oh man, she wore out and da. But then when I used to be with them,
at the biology of it,
yeah, because I'm like, they said she was out, but when I was with her, she wasn't. So I'm like, and then people say, well, you think it was them? And then I was like, well, maybe so, but maybe
they didn't know what they were doing.
So when it comes to,
maybe it wasn't big enough.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when it comes to the body count and Quita can kind of identify what I'm saying. When you're in I approached it from being in a small town.
I got that.
When you popular as hell in a small town and people looking for any reason to, especially if you up and popping and you moving and you doing some things, they look for any reason to put a stain on your name. So if Quita go and talk to somebody who used to get beat up in school or was a lame in school, the first thing they gonna say is, "Oh hell, she ain't nothing. She talking that lame. I thought she was something." You get judged by who's on your arm in them small towns. And if she with somebody who's popular, they gonna say, "Oh hell, he messed with my cousin, my sister. He was messing with Sharon. He ain't gonna do nothing but dog her out." They look for a reason to down who you talk to. So when you self-conscious and in your own realm and people been coming at you all your life, the last thing, and then when you, like, let's just say Quita, very popular, she does her decorating stuff, and a lot of women are around her. You know what I'm saying? So she do women things, whether it's parties for 30-year-olds, whatever, she's in the mix of all that.
Right.
So if she with a man who done slept with 8 of the women that's in this party that she's thrown, it's not. And then people say, "Oh, you just insecure." It's not an insecurity. It's just that a lot of women, when it came to dating me, a lot of women used to say, "Now, you used to talk to my homegirl. Now you used to talk to my cousin." And then my reply used to be, "Bastrop is too small for you to be saying you used to talk to this person, that person." Because anybody worth talking to,
we want to keep it in the family.
You gonna talk to them. In that town, you got 5 to 10, I say maybe, and this is pushing it, 20 nice looking women worth talking to, and you probably got 30 guys that's worth talking to. So by the time the main ones go through, they done went through each other. The ones that's on the outside who already know that they ain't whatever everybody thinks they are. Girl, he messed with this person, that person, this person, that person. And so me personally, I never wanted a woman seriously that had a high body count. And it was just strictly because I don't want, like when I'm DJing, the girl who you dating usually want to come up there and sit by you. You know what I'm saying? Let the other women in there know that this is my man or whatever. Okay. But on the same note,
you better give me a shout out if I'm not sitting beside you.
Give him a shout out. Yeah. You have to go live. They're gonna blow your phone up. Blow your phone up. You gotta go live.
Right.
And so just imagine, and then I got this from them, and I was telling another guy this. When I came home from college and my partner hooked me up with a job at the city because I was just sitting at home. He was like, man, just come over here and work, you know, a couple of months and then go back to school, make you some money while you're down here. When I was 19 and went around them 50 and 60-year-old men, they ruined me as far as dating, as far as how I view women. When they told me she can go to Walmart or Super One, they say that she can go to Super One, you go get some food to cook at the house. She can be over in the fruit stand, over there by the fruit, raise her skirt up, and a man can get him some right then. My mind was like, messed me up. So I could be tired as hell, sleeping. As soon as my girl said, I'm finna go to Walmart, I'm like, Walmart, I'm putting clothes on, looking for my shoes. You know, because I'm trying to go. Because you might go to Walmart and bend over, you know, bend over with the skirt, you know. So they messed me up. So just imagine 19, 20 years old. Just imagine what the hell the women I dated from 20 to I knew better, 35, went through. I ran so many of my own.
Paranoid.
I ran them all. And they was like, you ain't put no ring on her finger. She a much right woman. So if she want to talk to any man and say hi to her, they can. So anytime a man speak to her, hey, don't speak to him. You know, who is that? Why are you speaking to him? You know, so when I tell you messed up, I still don't care for that today. Why are you speaking to him? Because I don't speak, you know, in Oakland, we don't speak to folks. I don't speak to people. So that friendly female shit, I ain't with that. No.
We speak to everybody.
I ain't with it.
How your mom and them?
Thanks. So I didn't even want no woman that had kids when I was coming up. But I think that situation, as you mature, as you get older, it's the less. But on the same note, in that small town, you still don't want the up and coming. You got other DJs that's trying to come up and erase your name. You got other promoters, and then you step up there and then you got this girl in your chest out and you walking around there, and then they like, oh man, my cousins used to hit her. Man, we ran a train on that girl last week. You know, man, we used to get that all the time. She did this and that and that.
See, that's the issue though, that you what's up, David? That you don't like so much value is placed on or a lack of value, should I say, is placed on a woman. Every time she sleeps with somebody, you lower her value, right?
Yeah.
But that comes because when, like David said, like I say, it's a traditional thought, but you guys enter the world on a pedestal, per se. We expect you guys to be perfect, believe it or not, because we came from, especially if they admire their mothers, and their mothers wasn't out there like that. And that's why the saying be like, a lot of men marry women that's like their mothers. So when you guys, you're born with value. You can produce a child. You have what's most men weakness. You know what I'm saying? And you get to pick and choose. I'm gonna bless you. I'm gonna bless you. I ain't gonna bless you. I'm gonna bless you. You guys get to do that. A man have to build his value. We out here with nothing. If you know,
y'all building value, because I don't think so.
We have to build it because
sorry to cut you off, but that's a wrong statement. That you don't think that men build value, because in your 20s you would not date someone who didn't have anything. Like, you see homeboy walking down the block, like, hey, how you doing? Can I talk? You look at him like, ill. But as soon as that man starts to build value, like as soon as he starts to get his money up, as soon as he starts to get his car right, as he get his clothes right, he get his new J's, get everything that you are looking for from a visual perspective, he becomes more attractive to you. He could be like the most broke down, busted, ugly motherfucker walking the street, but if he got all the shit that he can provide you with, you look at him like, huh.
Okay, there we go. Yeah. He said the key word. Once he starts providing for himself, then I know he can.
Yeah, but that's us building.
That's how they build value, though.
That's us building our value.
Right.
Oh, wow.
And if you look at it from that standpoint, then so then men have to build their value by doing things, right? And
we have to prove worth.
Women have to prove worth by not doing things.
But
y'all are already up there. When you're born, you're already up there. And then, especially if you're pretty,
you don't do stuff, then you're still cool. You know.
Yeah. So you
y'all like, I need to build this thing up and show people, show this woman that like I can do the thing, right?
But that's the thing. Like a lot of women out here, I'm gonna put it to you like this: like women don't understand their value as it pertains to the rest of the world. They only see themselves through their eyes. Men see themselves through the world's eyes,
the lens of the world, right?
So, like when a woman, like I always tell people this: women provide access to sex, men provide access to relationships. Because here's the thing, like, should body counts matter? It's dependent on the type of guy that you're going after. Like Mook Mook, Ray Ray, Earl, and Blakk on the block probably ain't gonna care. Like homeboy that's got that corporate job, wants that woman on his arm to take to the corporate events. You don't want the chick that everybody done knocked down. So it's totally dependent on the man that you were going after, the man that you want to spend your life with, the man that you choose, like, hey, this man, I perceive him to be of worth, but you can't dictate his standards. Like, he's going to have his standards of what he wants.
Okay, so I'm going to disagree with you, because just like people change their identity, if I move from the city that I'm in and I meet a high value man, he not going to know that I was a hoe. I'm going to be
you don't think that man is checking you out? You don't think he's going to ask around? You don't think he's going to reach back and be like,
if I move from Louisiana to California, you think he finna reach down to the south and find out who I am?
A man of means will do that. A man of means will definitely do that.
How you handled your business when you was being a hoe.
And then social media, he can just go back to your post from 3 years ago.
Now he can. Yes.
He can go back to your post from 3 years ago on social media and be like, okay, because she was like, now I'm eating her ass. And he was like, oh, okay, so she was wild like this. And he can see all the guys around you and you on the floor doing the twerking and your ass up and guys spanking. He said, oh, so that's how my girl used to be. But people don't think about things they put on social media.
Generation that did not have cameras.
Why you think all these women so worried about the Freaknik doc?
Oh yeah, they are.
Because they thought their wholeness was in the past, but now it's being
brought to the forefront.
And now their husband's looking at them upside their head. And it's like,
look, they went to a whole nother state. They did.
But they was living their life.
They was living their life.
Like, you live your life, but that shit doesn't go away. You are accountable for how you live.
And honestly, I can agree with you on that. Okay, so I still say body count does not matter, because me personally, my body count is less than 20. I'm 37. It's less than 15. It's less than 15. But the lifestyle that I've lived, people think that I'm a whore because I did porn online. I did OnlyFans for a year.
Yeah.
So they think they can touch me, but I really don't like to be touched.
Right.
But here's the thing, like, if you go after like a quote unquote high value man, like, because I'll speak from experience. Like,
okay,
I'm not a high value man. I make a decent amount of money. I make upper 5 figures.
So why you can't be a high value man?
Okay, no. Call yourself, just say a valued man, a man of value.
I'm a man of value, but I'm not a high value man. Like, I move in that circle because I work in government and I'm around that all the time. So I see it up close and personal, and I understand what these people are looking at when it comes to choosing a relationship with a woman as well as the people who they have, because high value men don't go after the easily attained. They don't want the one that everybody has had. Like they understand, like, yeah, you may have been out there like a couple of times, but if you out there like twerking online, if you out there like doing OnlyFans, I have nothing against sex workers and paying for sex, but that's being held against you depending on the type of man that you're going after. Again, it's their criteria for what they want from a person they are going to be in a relationship. You
but
do
again,
not get to dictate.
It does not count against your body count. Yes, you might be wild or you've been wilding, but it doesn't count against your body count because I didn't sleep with them, but they did buy the content.
That's your standard, not his standard. You don't get to dictate his standard. You were looking at yourself through your eyes. You were not looking at yourself through his eyes.
Mm-hmm. So you're saying selling porn online goes against my body count?
Like, it may go against his criteria for what he wants. He may not want.
It's not body count.
It's not a body count.
It's not a body count. That's why I disagree with what you say, because it's not body count.
It's not body count, but it goes in the totality of the whole thing. it's not just like, okay,
whatever his value system is.
Like you could fuck one dude, but you could be on like OnlyFans fingering your pussy for like millions of people, and he gonna be like, I don't want her, because like everybody has seen that. Everybody has had access to that. Like there's like, I could be walking down the street with you and we could be going to Starbucks and somebody could pull up and be like, oh shit, yo, you the one. Like no regular traditional person wants that. Like that might not be a big issue to you in your mind, because you like, hey, I made money off of that. I did my thing.
Yeah.
Like I feel good about myself doing that, but that dude may not be okay with that. He may
just
not
like that stripper who don't go home with men, who when they try to touch her, because they be wild, and then when the guy try to touch somebody, she move her hand like moving back, then she start back doing her job and stop him, and and then when she go home, she made her money. She didn't go home with him. She probably got a whole man and kid and everything home, and she stripped with her. But in the eyesight of the average male, she a hoe, because she's doing what we thought was whole thing. Just like this lady
are
here.
saying, well, I want to be promiscuous and I want to, have an OnlyFans and I want to do this, but I also want to be respected as if I don't. I want to be treated as if I don't. I want guys to forget about that and want to wife me up. And the guys don't like it. They don't like a high body count on women, and they don't like this stuff. So I'm trying to shake reality into women.
And see, that's just what y'all was just talking about. You doing the OnlyFans, and like he said, it's innocent. You just making money and you just doing video and whatever. But the wrong guy, and if he's tradition or if that's his vision and he know what he wants, that may be a little too much for him. Not saying that what you're doing is wrong, but in certain guys' eyesight, he might be like, man, I won't quit a bad, but man, she got OnlyFans. And he'll mess up, because your OnlyFans is strictly to make money. Ain't nobody touching you, because you just say you don't like to be touched.
Right.
But in that eyesight, the guy gonna be like, hey, she's a little too over the top, too much attention.
And here's the other thing about body count that a lot of women are delusional about. It goes towards like women control access to sex. I guarantee you, if either one of you went onto your Facebook page right now and put, I'm horny, I need somebody right now, you have 100 motherfuckers jump on that in your DMs.
You don't even have to put that.
But it's true. It's true.
We telling you that is. You ain't even got to say you on it though. You just got to go on there and be like, you just smile. I don't know.
I got to do the same stuff.
I can stick my tongue out.
That's it.
Just don't.
Yeah, you don't even gotta be that graphic. You just be like, I'm lonely. I need some company.
Yeah.
And you'll have 100 motherfuckers just jump in your DMs like, yo,
hey, David,
I'm close by.
Get slicker than that. All they gotta do is just put on that SUP stuff. You man, what you trying to do? What you trying to do? They all in that DM. Sup. SUP.
Not even that. Just throw up the eggplant emoji.
Yeah.
Or that peach.
But flip that around. Like a guy tries that, you'll get like 100 women be like, ew, really? You on that kind of time?
Go to sleep.
Yeah, right.
Go to bed.
Like, give me your phone.
For the point that I'm trying to make is that women can easily obtain sex just by putting it out there that they're sexually interested.
Yeah.
For a man, it takes time, energy, emotion, and effort to obtain sex.
Right.
No matter how little of it he has to expend, it still takes those things in order to get sex for a man.
And that's why men don't get criticized as much as women for having high body count. Really? A man with high body counts is looked up to and praised in the man community.
Because he had to work for it. He
had to work. And then once he worked and he got his statue up there, and then the women hear he's good or whatever, then they're coming at him. We kings and gods in the community. But let that same woman do the same thing, and you know, they throwing stones. It's like,
and on another thing, like sometimes it's not the body count. It's like it's like how discriminate are you? Are you just out here hopping on any dick that you can possibly get into, or are you like, okay, I like sex, but I have like this pocket of people over here that I'm just fucking with.
Right.
So it may not be to certain guys. It may not be the amount. It may be who.
Right.
Or the type.
It's who. And then if we can get that notch under the belt, they like shit. And then if you get enough of what they consider quality women, the women that guys were trying to get that couldn't, and you landed it, it don't take the number. Like they say, you don't have to have 10, 15, 20. If you land one or two of who could nobody else get, you praise, man. I don't see how you got that, man. I tried so hard. I don't see how you got that. And so that's why men value women with fewer body counts.
And like, there's only one class of woman where it truly does not matter. And I hate to say it, but you have to be somebody for it to not matter. You have to be up here for it not to matter. Because when you're up here, it's like, okay, not only are you controlling access to sex, but you're also shooting the shots. You're calling the shots.
So define what up here looks like.
Famous, celebrity, like you are in a position where, like, if you do that, nobody's really gonna care. Like
I don't agree with that either.
You would still have your
main person, Lori Harvey.
Lori Harvey got destroyed for fucking up a good relationship with Michael B. Jordan. Not for having a high.
Everybody talk about her because of how many men she's been with.
But Lori Harvey is not like up here. Lori Harvey is still obtainable to most average men. She's like famous for being Steve Harvey's stepdaughter more than she is being a model. So Lori Harvey is, I'm talking like Mariah Carey, Janet Jackson, Beyonce. Like you literally
Nicki Minaj.
Nicki Minaj. Nicki Minaj done fucked like 50 million people before she got on. Same with Cardi B. She was a known sex worker before she got on. But now, like,
and guys will accept that because she's up here, like he said. But an average, you know, and even that, what's the one that's in the news with the Ursha and the baby daddy? What's her name?
Keke Palmer. Like,
she not even.
Keke
she ain't even. If you see Keke Palmer working at Walmart, you wouldn't even speak to her. You'll say, "Hey, who is your friend over there?" It's like
like as a woman, you really have to know who you are through the lens of the people you are interested in, not through your own lens. Because a lot of women through their own lens, no matter how broke down, bust down they are, still see themselves as a 10.
Dude.
Like I'm the table, I'm the prize.
I've been wanting to put that on social media, on my page so bad. Do they not see what the hell we see? And I'm like, I want to put that out there so bad, but I keep it to myself. But they be the main ones. They
think they're 10, but they don't really think they're 10.
Shit. They post so many pictures.
Bullshit. You got like the most broke down ugly girls part of Mean Girls clubs thinking they the baddest shit walking because they hang out with the one hot chick.
God damn it! You can't make this shit up.
And
you can't make it up.
It's the truth because, like, I'm telling you, you go to any club in DC right now. You go right here on U Street, you'll see the one baddie, and you'll see like 3 friends. Like the one baddie, the one that's looking put together, that's like maybe a 6 or a 7. You see the one like average chick, like on a good night she could pull, but then you got the one that hang out that's just like mad fat, fitting herself into a tight leather joint, in high heels, got her hair did up.
Just mute his mic.
But it's
and be the first one at your table
and
trying
then,
to flirt.
And she thinks she the one because she has access to what the baddie got access to.
Or she got the money. A lot of them, they have the money and the car that the baddies came with.
Right.
Yeah, her folks got some money and they made sure that she had it because where she lacked in looks, they gave her in money. I see that a lot. That even goes on in Monroe. I see that so much. I know so many of them because I used to do house parties for them.
I see you shaking your head, Keita, but tell me this. How many times you done see the most broke down, ass backward chicks walking down the street with a kid, with a dude? You like, how the fuck did that happen?
I'm just in shock that the way you describing it.
But it's the truth, is it not?
But this is the thing, though.
Like, people like what they like. So
that's what I was gonna say. Like
people do like what they like,
but
like
just because somebody isn't traditionally attractive doesn't mean they're not attractive to somebody.
I agree with that too, but it's like in your mind, you're like, how? It's not. Again, you're looking at it from the outside. You're not seeing what they see, but you're looking at it in your mind like, this dude spends like
something. He must got that snapping turtle.
Something.
Or he got a nice personality.
And that's why I said, you see what she said? So she proved my point again. Men have to build their value. If we're just born and it's just a regular dude, you may say he cute, but you ain't finna deal with it. He has to build value.
And we're not talking about.
If you don't have the looks, you gotta have a car. If you don't have a car, you gotta have the money. If you don't have the money, we gotta have something. It's just not. We're not just not gonna get pretty privileges.
It depends on where the woman is in her life. I'm sorry. Go ahead, love.
So what now?
I think that's the same for women, though. I mean, it ain't all about the cooch. It ain't all about the looks. Like, because there are certain things that men expect from their women as well. So there's more to a person than that.
But it's not the same things that women expect from men. Like
that's true. That's true. I can agree with that.
And that's the other issue that goes into this. Like, women get on and think they can use men tactics against men, and men are not attracted to the same thing you guys are. Like, we're not attracted to your money. We don't you got to be able to like
take care of yourself.
You got to be a fully functioning adult. But
right? Yeah.
As a man, we know we don't have access to your money, so your money does not impress us.
Right.
And that's
how we said that on the last podcast.
Like we understand, we can appreciate that you're educated, and that means we can have a fully functioning adult conversation with you.
Right.
But we can't use your education. It doesn't help us out in our world.
Mm-hmm.
Like your education is strictly for you. It does not help us.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like going back to the body count, it's like other things bring value to the man that you're after.
Mm-hmm.
Like the same things that bring value to you are not the same things that bring value to us. And women need to understand that. And they've been lied to by various media that we are the same when we're not.
Right.
Because it's like, okay, like you guys as women have been on for less than a century. Like in terms of working, earning your money, being on homes. I'm like, great, welcome to the world. Happy for you.
Mm-hmm.
But the same shit that y'all like are not the same shit that we like. You can't use the same cards against us.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to learn that.
Yeah. We totally different. We're not the same. And a lot of women don't want to, a lot of modern day women don't want to accept that.
And
why are men so concerned with women's body count, but men's body count are twice as much, but obviously don't matter?
Well, here's the thing. You have to understand that there's a great difference between males and females. Men and women are not the same. You are not equal. Okay? Men mark their territory. The higher your body count is, the less likely he can bond you and bind you to him as his property, right? Men are takers by nature. They take energy. That's what they do. So the more men that you're with, the more value you lose because you got so many men taken from you, right? After they done took so much from you, what do you have to offer after that? Nothing. So, as a woman, why would you want a high body count? Why would you want so many men taken from you? So that you can be depressed. You can have anxiety. You can have all of these demons inside of you.
And I think that's why it's so many young women that's 25 that's depressed. That's what y'all call it, mental. What I be trying to say every time I say that.
Every time you keep saying you want to say, and I ain't figuring out what it is.
Here's the other problem.
Whatever y'all call the mental awareness. When a woman when they depressed and they'll kill themselves. They call it's like a depression. Women go into a depression state. Mental illness, mental health, all of that. And it could simply be because they're going to always be wondering why the guys use them or why people do this to them, so
but like I said, so much of that comes from the fact that just you can look at statistics and look beyond that because women do not report, but most of us have been sexually assaulted as children at some point. Right? Mm-hmm. Whether it's a touch or some creepy.
And I noticed that's what
and so
create a lot of them
into adulthood, and then
you
respond to that, right? And stuff, and that's where it starts. It's like we get sexualized so young, and that's taken from again as men take, right? Somebody who shouldn't have been taking, right? Because I didn't offer it,
right,
and stuff. Has taken from me before I was even able to understand my body and who I am and how I am and the functions of the things, and then somebody is taking from me. So that part is gone along with my innocence, along with my childhood, along with those things and my mental well-being. So I just carry that, right? And so now I believe that my value is based in sex. My value is based in
you hitting it all on the head.
I have to give them in the bedroom, right, and stuff like that. And so now I got a high body count, right, because that's what I think my value lies, right? Because I think that's what men want. That's That's the only thing I have to offer.
Here's the other thing that ties into that. A lot of women are only after like the top 20% of all men. And like it ain't all men out here that's fucking like that. Like if you look at the statistics, like men between the ages of 18 to 27, 60% of them are virgins. Like never had sex.
Especially now.
So you telling me it's the old men that's out here getting it in?
Bruh, I've been finding out like they got a lot more male versions out here than there used to be. like they holding out. They holding out. They're having more value for themselves than the women are.
And it's like that's tied into it, but it's like they're virgins because women are going after the same small pool of men, and they see that small pool of men are the ones out here with the very high body counts. Like the average man, like between the ages of 18 to 55, have only had like 3 sexual partners in their entire life. But they don't see that. They see like, oh, a dude out here got the nice cars, got the nice J's. The dudes that get it when they're younger in life, when they're in their 20s, those are the ones that have the high body counts because those are the ones that the women go after. And they're the ones that have the pick of the litter. So it's like, I can get her, I can get her, I can get her. I can definitely pop her. So it's like they see that and it's like, oh, he's out here doing it. Ain't no reason I can't be out here doing it. But you're only basing why you should have a high body count on a small selection of what men are actually doing.
I pass on you.
Like, all right, case in point, like dude that you never paid attention to in high school, dude that was the straight A student, honor roll, honor club, chess club, like all the nerdy shit, anime guy, like
I can't be in that category. Like DJ Blakk said, I don't count sometimes because I like nerds.
Okay, so
no, but I'm telling you, like the dude that you never
because like I've always been in long-term relationships. So my high school experience, I was in a relationship throughout high school. So no, I didn't pay attention to the guy that paid attention to me because I had a boyfriend.
Okay, that's different.
Like, and then even now, like I'm not into they be needing too much attention.
Yeah, but like,
I can tell them if you need more attention than I need.
Like they get it so much to where they expect it, and I'm not.
I don't do that.
But your high school experience is not the typical high school experience because the vast majority of high schoolers were not in long-term relationships. Like most high schoolers didn't even get into a relationship until like their senior year, and that was like their first experience with one.
Right.
But I'm talking about like the
shit these days.
Like the vast majority of high schoolers go through high school never having had sex. Like most people, men don't have sex until like on average they're in their 20s.
I am so shocked.
I know, right? I've been learning this thing, and I'm like, what about these stupid boys that was in high school with me?
Yeah, them women getting it in.
So maybe that was it. They was trying to get somebody that wasn't getting none. I don't know.
But look at the dudes who was getting it in high school. What were they? They were the athletes.
Yeah.
They were the dope boys. Yeah. They were the dudes who constantly cut school, but like, hey, baby, you want to cut?
The bad boy.
We made music.
And
we threw parties.
Like a very small vocal but minority of the high school. Like you got like the dudes who were getting it very small very small portion. Then you got everybody else, and then you got the dudes at the bottom who would never sniff pussy if their life depended on it.
Yeah, they thought it was nasty.
So like these people here, these are the people that don't have sex until they're like late teens, early 20s.
And maybe their college experience.
And those
I call them late bloomers.
And those are the typical like people who go on to be the quote unquote average man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, we call them late
That
bloomers
was a
because
great
those
question.
be the ones that's in their late 20s and 30s saying, man, it's been 2 weeks and I ain't had none. You was a late bloomer. Because if you 35 or 30 years old, how about it's been 2 weeks and you ain't had none, or you tired of hitting the same piece, you was a late bloomer. Because if you was getting it in junior high and high school,
right,
you know what you like and what you want. You know what I'm saying? But it be guys still out here that's 35 hollering about, man, it's been 2 weeks. Man, I've been hitting the same old piece. And I'm like, dude, you how old now? that don't matter because at the end of the day,
I'm gonna agree with the late bloomer situation because me personally, I didn't know what I liked because why? I was in that long-term relationship. So I didn't date multiple people to figure out what it is that I liked and what I didn't like.
Yeah.
So me as an adult, I'm trying to figure that out.
You're exploring. Yeah.
Yes.
And that's the catch-22 because it was cool, but you were taught that at a young age to not be out there. You get what I'm saying? To not explore. And me personally, I think body count should be reset when you 22, 23, because you supposed to be getting it in from, I'm gonna keep it discreet, from a junior in high school till your 4th year of college, if you go to college. So you get to 22 to hold. By the time you 23, well, to 304.
I feel like you should get to 25 because your frontal lobe is developed at 25. So you should get to 25.
By the time you're 23, you know what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? And if you still out there doing it after 30 years old, that's just what you are. And it's gonna be hard. And they come up with the pair bonding. I believe in that because I've seen several women who went out there, not all, of course, we know there's always an exception, but I've seen several women who was being 304s, so they was in their mid-30s, try to get with a man, they married, they be together 2 good years, everything great. That 3rd year on up, she depressed, she sad. Next thing you know it, she back in the club. Next thing you know it, they separated. Then it because she feel like she's missing something because she been laying down with all these different guys all her life, and that's the disadvantage to them doing that. And this guy broke it down right here on why women shouldn't be promiscuous like that. He talked fast, but
she has a high body count. What the fuck does that matter?
Well, it matters because as the sex with greater parental investment and higher odds of contracting STIs, women didn't evolve to be promiscuous. It matters because most women don't have a desire to be promiscuous. It matters because promiscuity in women is not normal or healthy. It matters because it's linked to a myriad of behavioral and mental health issues that we often see exhibited in women. A reduced ability to effectively pair bond, higher rates of STIs, unwanted pregnancies and abortions, substance abuse, paternity uncertainty because it's not attractive for a woman to not know who her child's father is, and men don't desire to take care of another man's kids unknowingly. It also matters because there's an increased likelihood of the woman committing infidelity, the relationship failing, or the marriage ending in divorce. It also matters because there's a lack of sexual inhibition and discipline on the woman's behalf because women can get sex a lot easier than men can. It matters because there's often going to be emotional baggage from that woman seeking validation and attention and wondering why men didn't want to stay with her and only wanted sex, and she just kept repeating the cycle over and over, racking up more bodies.
so it's so much that come into play with that till, I mean, just imagine the guy who wasn't getting it, like David said, the squares, the late bloomers, and now they're out here trying to get them, they finally meet somebody they like. She done had 30, 40, however many different sex partners. He hadn't had but 1 or 2. It's going to be a problem in that it can eventually leads to a problem in that relationship, because if she been out there doing it all that time and now she got to settle down, she been out there doing it with different guys, picking a litter, and now she got to settle for this one. And I know y'all say that you can teach a man how to make you get off. You can do that, but what if that woman say, okay, I done taught him how to do that because she used to so many different guys. I flip her this way, David flip her that way, John do it like this. So he done showed me what works.
He flip it, he rub it down.
Yeah. So it's harder for a woman who gets sex from different guys on a regular basis to pair bond a lot of times. Now I know a woman can be a 304 and can shut it off. They say for the right guy. Okay.
And they will.
Y'all can shut it down. Women will shut it down. And if she done been there, done that, and explored, like Quita, I feel like she's exploring, but the fact that she came from a home that teaches you how to be a wife, she know how to be a wife. So if she's exploring right now, she's exploring to find her husband, her mate, what she likes. And then she back in. It's it's like you let the dog off the pen and he run across that yard because he been caged up for so long. He just gone. And then when he get through, he go back in, he just content, he eat. He just go back in his dog, I go back in the cage and he fine. But as soon as you open that cage, he just take off. So I feel like women can shut that down quicker than a man can. A man will find what he like, and once it's more to satisfy a man. Once that man is 100% satisfied, a woman, it's easier to kind of satisfy a woman, I feel. But a man to be satisfied, the woman have to meet so much. Can she be a mother? Can she be a wife? Can she cook? Can she clean? There's men out there now that's saying they wouldn't date a woman if she couldn't cook. And I'm like, dude, you got TikTok now. So if she put forth an effort,
watch a video, you can cook.
Thank you. If she put forth an effort, but women take, a lot of the modern day women, they take pride in saying, I don't cook. They're independent. They don't have time to prepare no meal for them or the kids. I don't cook. And they say it with pride. And I'm like,
I think it becomes a badge of honor for them because they're trying to get so far away from the traditional, because the traditional in their mindset represents, like, it's almost like having a slavery mindset, right? It's like it's this mindset of being trapped, or I had to do this. But those are qualities, right? I love cooking. It's part of my love language. I like when somebody eat my food and be like, girl, you put your foot in this. Like, that feeds my soul, right? And so, but for so many people, they connect that to, the old school stuff and the mentality that's connected to that. All those things were not bad things. They were wonderful things, right? Because I'm an entrepreneur. I'm out here getting it, right? And I'm doing what I need to do. But I still enjoy cooking for my family. I still enjoy doing certain things, that are traditional, right? And stuff like that. But it's because my mindset is not that's bad, right? Now, if I'm in a relationship where that's all you want me to do all that, but you ain't doing your part, then that's problematic. If I'm not getting in the kitchen tonight and cooking, who else gonna step up and say, hey, I got it tonight? Right. And so I agree. There's a difference in being expected to and having a love for taking care of your family or whatever in that way.
But that ties into like women being lied to by various mediums, because it's like they've been told like everything that came before is bad. Like everything that came before that your mama and your grandma did, like, you don't have to do that. You can forge your own way. They don't see that as a positive thing. Like, not everything that came before is a bad thing.
It's just not. It's just not.
Like, there are some things that should carry over. There are some things that are good things. There are some things that, even if you're not a traditionalist like me, like, are still good things. Like, I can cook my ass off. I can cook better than 95% of people that I meet. But if someone cooks for me, I'm like, yo, that's dope.
Right.
I love that.
Right. That is a gift, right? That's right.
I'm gonna say it's not because we think it's bad, but if you look at your grandmother. Your grandmother cooked, clean, she held the house down, and grandpa got how many families?
6, I don't know.
He got 5 baby mamas all over town.
Right.
Grandma broke her back for him, and he
That's
still
right.
did what?
Right. And that's why they see it that way, because they see it as a symbol of, you breaking your back for somebody, or you like, it's not necessarily that, right? It's a matter of doing that for the right person, right? And stuff. I was in love with my ex-husband.
But that's the thing.
Like,
It shouldn't be for the
values that did not match mine because he wasn't doing the things necessary. And I was still cooking every day.
But that's the thing. That's the thing. It shouldn't be for who you deem it to be good for. Like, that ties into conditional femininity. Like, you don't tell your white boss, like, oh, I'm a be conditional worker today.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you can't say that and not expect to get fired. So why you gonna roll up to a man and be like, hey, my femininity is conditional? Like, you would balk if a man said my masculinity is conditional.
But as I mentioned before here, though, like, because I can be more masculine, I have lived my life having to depend on me. Right.
Yeah, and men
grew up in a household where I couldn't trust the adults. I couldn't trust the parents. So I learned that I had to use that masculine energy in order to survive. Right.
Yeah, but
until I'm in a space where I feel safe to be feminine, where I'm going to keep using that masculine energy because it's necessary for my protection.
For your survival.
But that, I understand that, but I don't agree with it because, again, conditional femininity should not be a thing. Like, your femininity should be like, I understand. Like,
if nobody's there, then we got to protect ourselves.
Like, no, but you can be masculine and feminine at the same time. Like, protecting yourself is not a masculine trait, in my opinion.
It is. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Just like when you say y'all come here and having to. That's part of y'all. That's part of that. Proving myself as a man. You proving that you can protect me as your mate. That you got my back. If I can't trust that I can be safe with you physically, mentally, emotionally, and otherwise, then I have to find a way to stand up and protect myself. That requires masculine energy. That requires masculine energy. I'm sorry.
Absolutely.
To me, like, protecting yourself is just par for the course. That's just something inherently you have to be able to do to operate in the world today. That's not masculine. That's not masculine or feminine to me. Like, protecting yourself is just like the default. When you encounter another man, or as a man, I encounter a woman, like, my masculine energy is on by default. It's not like you have to earn my masculine energy. I shouldn't have to earn your feminine energy. Like, that should be your default.
Yeah, but the protection is by default because that's how you were made.
No, but like,
right? And so feminine is how I was made, but this world has created situations where I have to use my other side of my energy. I have to use my masculine energy if my man not there, if he's not protecting, if he's not providing.
Boundary.
I got to set up. I got to set up myself for success. So in order to do that, I have to pull from that side of myself, and now I got to be overprotective, and now I got to, in essence, like, act like a man, right, to an extent. And so because I cannot trust that around me, and if I grew up in that. Right. And my mama was the same way, right? Because she didn't have no man to protect her, right? Or she ended up being the side piece because she couldn't find any other protection otherwise, or she didn't have that value in herself. Then I grew up with that same standard. Well, I got to protect me because I ain't have no daddy in my house to protect me, and all that. And so, yeah, and it comes off as, she too independent. She don't trust no, she won't let me do X, Y, and Z. Well, you got to show me you're going to be there. You got to show me that you worth your weight in gold, right? And all that. You have to show me. You have to show me because I've been through whoever and whatever already. And I trusted somebody before, but that didn't work out for me. So I want to be feminine. I want to be completely just all woman. Just hear me roar, right? I want to be feminine. I want to relax. I want to let you have it. I want to let you take the lead. but I gotta trust that you're gonna take the reins and do what need to be done with it, right? If I can't trust that, then I'm gonna stay on guard. I'm gonna stay on
And
guard.
I think that's why a lot of the single parents is finding it hard, especially when they've been single parents for 3-4+ years. It's hard for them to date, especially a traditional man.
Yeah.
Because he feels like I'm supposed to be the one leading. But she's so used to protecting herself and them youngins. She have to lock the door at night. She have to sleep late. You have to get the 9mm and have it up under the pillow. And she's doing that. You get what I'm saying now? And so when she meets this guy and he feel like a lot of the relationships don't work because she's used to being the man.
Right.
She pay all her bills.
Yep.
Well, me, I like to pay the bills. So when the bills come up, the main bills, I want to make sure I pay them. I want the mortgage. I want the car note. I want the electric. I want the main big bill. If she paying them, I feel a little less. I shouldn't because it's one big household.
You're an older guy. You're an older guy.
Yeah, and you're old school.
Yeah, I feel less.
Right.
But it's a lot of men out here, they will let you do all of that. And be fine with you handling all of that.
Yeah.
But then they expect you to respect them as a man. If I'm doing all this for myself, baby, you gonna respect me as a woman.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, that younger generation.
Dependent to me.
That younger generation, they live off y'all. They eat up y'all food stamps. And they spend up y'all goddamn
and that's the
income
problem.
tax check.
Y'all allow that. Like,
and that's true. That's true. That's real deal, Holyfield. Yeah. Because people treat you the way you allow them to treat you.
That way, the way that they don't feel single or they're not by themselves, just to have a man in the household. Was it Betty Wright that said?
Better have
like,
a man than no man at all.
I can't even say having a man in the household. You have a male-bodied person.
A male body.
Okay. A male presence.
Yeah.
No, you have a male-bodied person. There's a difference between a man and a boy. You were dating a boy in a grown-up spot.
Exactly. Because that's been my issue. Like if I got to take care of you like I take care of the kids, then I'm still being the head of the household. And you a kid. You one of my kids.
Right? You my dependent, son.
I don't want
like Tiger Love say, where the men
I don't sleep with my kids, dog. So I don't know where you're gonna get it from, but you can't get it over here because I'm taking care of your kid.
See, I hate when Tiger Love said, she like, where the men at? They're out here, you just ain't checking for them.
Ooh.
Okay.
He's spicy. He be with it.
I love him. I do.
Like you just
they not feeling him.
Not scared
like, you just ain't checking for him because that dude is like in your mind, he too safe. He ain't what.
And you got to be careful of those guys because we do get in that space where we like, oh well, I don't know. He's a nice guy, but like he not badass enough for you. Like if he ain't ready to whoop your ass, you don't want him. Like what you looking for?
Now that's the modern women there. You gotta
cuss you out in order for
you gotta
like
knock you across
what is it that you? But again,
and then
that comes with self-value and worth.
It's like
you know what I'm saying.
I hate when women say they're like, wait a minute. I'm like, we out here making money. We out here making moves.
Right.
We out here building ourselves up. They are out here.
Right.
Y'all just ain't checking for them.
But
like,
if you're looking for somebody that's always in the gym, or you looking for somebody that got a certain income that's and it's okay to have
I hate that. I ain't gonna lie. I don't like a yes man. I'm like, what you want to do? Scream at you all the time? You want
to? There's a difference. Okay, so there's a difference.
I can relate to her because if he's too soft, my alpha femininity is gonna run over him. I need you to be an alpha like I'm an alpha.
Yeah,
I don't
like you need to be. If I talk to you crazy, I need you to check me. I need you to say, "Woman."
A woman gonna try you.
Talking to, and I'm gonna be like,
a woman gonna try you.
I ain't gonna.
I am.
Yeah, I'm gonna steamroll your ass if you don't stand up.
I'm gonna sit down and be like, yo, peep this. I ain't gonna scream at you, but we gonna.
And you ain't got to.
You don't have to.
Like no, but
you gotta take your
like I don't believe in yelling at women because I'm mad at women. I don't believe in treating my woman like a child either. I'm gonna talk to you like an adult.
And right.
And we're gonna have a plain, straightforward, factual, actual conversation. And you might not be ready to that because you dealing with them niggas on the block.
Please do hold your nuts.
Yeah. Absolutely. And that's how and like we say, it's not a matter of yelling or screaming or, you know, being disrespectful or whatever, but be able to hold your own, right?
Yes.
If I'm a smart ass and I'm being a smart ass, it's okay for you to check me for being a smart ass.
Right, because I know what I'm doing. I'm doing
what I'm
doing. If you
like,
gonna do what
you come at me like that, and I'm gonna be like, okay, now that you got that out of the system, you want to
thank you. That's what needs to happen. And so I can check myself and be like, all right, that wasn't necessary. You know what
okay,
I'm saying?
maybe
I mean,
not going for this, so I won't try
I get on the phone and be like, start screaming and yelling because I'm angry about something else. And I'm like, he like, did I do anything to deserve that?
Like, if you're gonna scream at me on the phone, I'm be like, I'm gonna call you when you ready to talk.
Oh, yeah. You know what I'm saying? But you need to check. You know what I'm saying? Right.
I'm just now coming into that because I ain't used to nobody talking to me crazy, especially a woman.
And I straight up
I snap.
And we shouldn't. We shouldn't be talking to me crazy. But understand again, if I grew up in a household and that's all I know, then I need correction. But I need loving correction.
And
okay, so the left and the right can't do it.
No, left and the right. No,
and it's choking. It's choking.
Don't go to sleep.
Abusive.
I'm not gonna try to hit you back, and because I know as a woman I can't beat you. But don't go to sleep. That's all I'm gonna say.
Okay.
Don't go to sleep.
I'm fighting head up. We can go.
You know what I'm saying? I ain't but like 5'2". You know what I'm saying? I know I can't beat most men, but don't go to sleep if you put your hands on me. That's all I'm gonna say.
I'm like, that goes both ways. I'm like, don't put your hands on me. I believe in equal rights and equal lefts.
Yeah.
Because some guys, I mean, the modern day women, you're gonna have to do some type of fighting back, man.
And that's crazy.
I've seen too many guys, they even be filming them, getting their ass tore out the frame. And I'm like, dude, if a what man look, I don't get it.
Yeah, and like James said, like a woman appreciates a man who can stand his ground respectfully and lovingly. You know what I'm saying? Like,
but if she knows that from jump, she's not gonna try him because
she
already know he ain't going.
Yeah, he's not going for that shit.
If he's the protector and provider, like he's supposed to be.
That's right.
She ain't gonna.
She's not even going there with him.
Smart, but she ain't gonna step out of line.
Well, that's what I call trying though. When they know that
they're not.
That you're not going to tolerate the lip. I don't believe in all that back talk, man. I just don't. I'm sorry.
Right, she's still grown though now.
And this is the problem. Like Tiger Love, I hate to be picking on you, but you done box a couple of motherfuckers. You ain't running to the wrong one yet, because you ain't running to the wrong one that I put your shit in the dirt and not think twice about it.
Yeah, but that's why you gotta be careful about who you choose, Tiger. Like you don't.
No,
this is the thing. Y'all be playing out here, but y'all know a fuck nigga when y'all see one. You know how they act. You know what their character is like and all that. And if you allow yourself to get into a relationship with one, then that's what you expect, right? So I'm not gonna date nobody that I know like the box. You know what I'm saying? Like if that's his mentality, or if he's
or like you said earlier, you just stay in your place. It ain't. You don't run from them. You just respect them because, like I say, I'm a man of respect. Even though I know how to love you and romance you, you know, but on the same note, I'm not going to tolerate no disrespect, no, none. And before I hit you now, I'll let you go. I learned to let you go.
Exactly.
If you got to hit them, if you got to beat them, you don't need them.
You don't need them. Exactly. It's not necessary.
I'm gonna defend myself, but after I finish defending myself, you out the door.
That's the rap.
Hands on you, you have a right to defend yourself. I'm totally and I don't have no gender specific. Like if a woman is big and bad enough to be up in your face and decide she want to hit you, well, that's what you asked for. You know what I'm saying?
And on the cool, and you know I may catch backslash, but you know me, I ain't never gave a damn.
What the hell? But backlash.
When that woman was arguing with that dude in that damn restaurant. He warned her to leave it alone. She kept on running her mouth. So my thing on that, if she just would have shut the hell up, it wouldn't have happened, and he'll still be here. He paid for what he did, but on the same note, she should have just left that alone. Because I'm one of the people, I'm going to warn you quite a few times. But after that, it is what it is.
We are all human, right? And we all have emotions, and all of us can only take so much before we lose it.
Yeah.
Right? And you don't know what's going on in another person's life. You don't know what's going on in their background and all that. Maybe you was the one that took them over the top that day because you decided to keep picking.
It's not wise to do these days.
You know what I'm saying?
It's not wise.
Yeah. Just don't.
When a person tells you not today,
believe them.
I don't care how bad you think you are.
Yeah.
If they say, I don't mean no harm, but not today. Leave that fucker alone, and you bring your business back to them 3 days after that.
Not today.
Yeah.
Not today.
Not today.
Like, as my dad told me, like, when somebody tells you who they are, believe them.
Believe
every day. People tell you and show you who they are all the time, and you have to believe that, and don't think that you can be trying to change folks and all that kind of stuff. You know.
And then these days, with the cameras and social media and everybody being able to see what's going on, people already have it on their mind when they leave their house. If somebody say something to me out of the way, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, and they already know what's up. So situations get escalated that could have been de-escalated because you got it on your mind and you got to prove a point. Everybody got to prove a point now because the camera rolling.
Bro, go sit down somewhere.
You got to prove that point.
And call a therapist. That's what you need to do because it just ain't worth all that.
So the newer generation, they just totally different. Check this out.
However, we are going to get these young ladies' opinions on it. So to start, guys, I actually want to start with, what do you think the average body count is for, let's say, a 22-year-old in today's day and age?
Maybe like between 10 and 20.
Wow, 10 and 20?
I think so, yeah.
Wow, okay. What do you think?
I'd say about 7.
7?
I reckon 10 to 20 as well.
Yeah. 10 to 20.
Yeah.
For a 22-year-old.
Well, it depends on relationships as well, because if you've been in a long-term relationship, then it's going to be lower than someone else who's always been single.
Do you guys know your friends' body counts? Do they tell you?
I feel like you have, but I actually can't remember. I don't think it's a big...
10 to 20 at 22?
Dude, you must don't know.
Yo.
They getting it in.
What is they doing?
These youngsters getting it in.
They getting it in for real, bro.
For real.
They not getting it in, they handing it out.
Yes, Rita, yes. They is handing it on a platter.
They doing it.
To everybody.
They doing it. So when men be on here talking about,
giving samples.
When they be on there talking about, they'll date a woman with 7, 7 is a cool body count at 35. Not the new ones. Not the new ones.
You slipping.
Yeah. That's why when
let's not forget though, because the LGBTQ community is loud and proud, this body count likely includes men and women.
I was just about to ask that. So does women count?
Yeah.
For a woman.
For a woman, does a woman count as a part of the body?
As a body count.
Yeah.
Like doesn't matter if you're a man, woman, transgender man, transgender woman.
Interaction, right?
Like,
did you ain't say nothing?
Like,
I'm thinking it's just between men and women.
Okay.
That's
how I feel.
Yeah.
Because it's not real penetration, but
it may not be real penetration, but you are still having sex
and,
with that
and
person.
You know what? When they do the studies, they be saying, and I think that's what that means. When we see it'd be like 2.5.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that makes sense.
So a lot of times when they ask about body counts, they quick to say it's like 2.5. 7.3.
Suggest sexual interest and therefore fewer than 10 is too conservative. More than 19 is a red flag.
19 is a red flag.
But they said they're out here doing 10 to 20 before 22.
That's what I think that when they say the 0.5s and all that and 0.2s, I'm thinking, like we said on the other one, eating ain't cheating and sucking ain't fucking.
Right, and that's what I was gonna say too. Is that considered a sexual encounter? Right?
Yeah.
But like Quita say, it's not a penetration per se.
So
I'm thinking it's penetration.
Because if somebody gave head 5 times, they might be an expert at this point, right? But
a lot of the white people, a white female told me they do oral sex at those younger ages, 16, 17, all that. They don't consider that sex because they're doing oral sex.
It literally says sex in the name, though.
Yeah, but to me, if it's an exchange, well, I don't know, because kissing is an exchange of fluid, so I can't say that. I don't know. Yeah, I think, because in sexual encounter, and somebody mentioned before, like the spiritual exchange that happens too during the sexual encounter, right? Yeah. And that's going to happen with a male or female. You're still going to have that exchange of energy. You know what I mean? So even if it's not bodily fluid, it's still a exchange of energies.
Like one of my best friends is a lesbian, has not had penetrative sex with a man, but has been in several sexual relationships with a woman.
Right.
They're using toys or what?
Her hymen is still intact and she's 35.
But she hasn't been penetrated at all.
Yeah. Because that's not what she's looking for when she's having sex with a woman.
So do you count her body count?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Like, you count men, women, everybody. And I agree.
She's like, yeah, I've had sex with like 15, 16 different women.
Mm-hmm.
And like what constitutes sex for her is like her going down on other women and other women going down on her. Mm-hmm. She doesn't want penetrative sex from a man. Mm-hmm. She doesn't want to be penetrated by a strap-on, but her eating another chick out and her getting eaten out is sex.
Yeah, it's a sexual encounter. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So you can't discount.
But Guida, like if you was talking to your kid, right, and your kid is 12 or whatever, and they start talking oral sex, is that a sexual encounter to you as a parent? Like you're like, yeah, that's don't go out there sucking dick. You know what I'm saying? Like,
come on, James. You can't constitute that. You got some dudes that done barely rubbed it on the pussy and came
and come. Yeah.
So
that pre-ejaculation.
Sex is.
And then, that's the case. Do jacking off considered as sex?
Self-love.
Well, it's considered sex, but not a body count because it's your own body.
Okay.
Oh my.
And then I'd be in a lot of trouble if it was that.
Look, at this point, me too.
So
me too.
Do you count yourself as one, or do you count every encounter with yourself?
Every encounter with yourself, because that could be multiple times a night. I don't know. Might be sometime in the daytime, sometime at night. You just never know. You just never know whenever you're feeling it.
Oh my God.
Yo, wow.
Know yourself, okay? If you don't know you, who gonna get to know you?
I mean, you know what? Women do that way more than men, I read.
Do you?
You guys, women will play with them.
We just got into it as a community because y'all was shaming us for it. Men been doing it since they discovered they have a penis. You know what I'm saying? But women, like, we have been shamed into don't touch yourself. That's gross.
No, that's how I grew up. My dad preached against that. He was like, you don't supposed to do that.
Nah, but y'all wouldn't be out here like, wow, y'all are going to the bathroom in the office and snap one off and come back.
Wherever you gotta get off, dog. They got stuff you can carry in your purse.
It be that pressure,
baby.
Y'all going to the bathroom and have the vibe ready to
mental
go.
health
Like,
benefits of an orgasm? Come on, man. Gotta calm your nerves in a hot second.
Y'all will be in the office stressed out as fuck. Go to the bathroom 10 minutes later.
10 minutes later, you good. You good.
I don't
Yes,
even
and women.
just go down some sex toys.
Yeah, women love it. Women, and that's why they make them, and they making a killing because women getting them toys now. And
you know what? I'm not her. I gotta have that warmth.
that's what I said on one of my first podcasts. Woman was bragging about she ain't need no man. She'll just use her toy. I said, yeah, but that toy can't pull that hair and spank that ass either, though. You can't do that. You can't do it.
And then
it ain't the same.
And then ask you whose pussy this is.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And you going
so she can lie to him because it's you tonight, it's yours tonight. Boy, I don't never ask her that. That's her shit.
Yo, Blakk.
I don't never ask that.
Blakk, virtual toast right here, my guy.
Yeah, that's her.
Yeah. I mean, I just feel like, you know, because my biggest desire is to have a person with me, right? If I would not choose masturbation with any sex toy over my mate, right? Not by far, you know. But when I'm by myself, you know, and plus I'm in a long distance relationship, you know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of phone sex and it's a lot of doing things, but like it's great, it's fantastic, you know, and stuff. But you have to figure out what you got to do, you know what I'm saying? And you know, they got virtual, you know, stuff, and you can control from long distance and shit like that, you know.
Until you marry her, it's not. You can't even put mine in the category. And then some guys that get married, it still ain't there. So you just it depends on who you're married to. So the woman gonna always tell you it's yours. That's by nature. That's by nature.
In a moment.
Like I got the app on my phone for one of my girlfriends, and it lets me know when it's online.
See, yeah, you know exactly when it's online.
We got to run past it like he didn't say one of.
Oh, they know I'm poly.
Yeah, he's in a poly relationship.
Yeah, he's poly.
To know how many.
That's why. How many you got? Two.
Okay, so are they
2.5 because he got one out of town. I'm telling this bitch, you know, I'm gonna tell their business on here.
They gonna watch? Are they gonna watch this?
They watch.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. So they know about each other.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. So you.
And they know about the one out of town, and he creep up and go see twice a year.
They open with all their stuff, like you know. Yeah, we had a whole party conversation. You got to go back and watch that one.
I might like you.
Yeah,
Tiger Love, you gotta go back and watch one of Tiger Love, you got to go back and watch one of the episodes.
Yeah,
season 1 because we had the poly conversation. It's not a big secret.
Yeah, everybody
knows when I come on here, I represent the poly community loud and proud.
That's right. Yep, and he represented well. He's gonna educate you.
We see, sweetheart. You just suspect us in the face with it.
Yep. Yeah, I love this dude. He gonna
break it down.
No bullshit therapist, baby.
Oh wow.
Yep. Nothing wrong with that at all.
Yeah, he break it down. They got rules, and before he bring you in, he got to talk to them about it.
Mm-hmm.
So, are they allowed to see other people?
Yeah,
if they talk to him about it.
Like we are all honest. Like, hey, we're interested in so and so over here. I'm gonna explore this with this person and see if it's something. If it becomes something, cool. If not cool.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Oh my. Yep. Let me tell you something. Talking to that man helped me with my clients in my practice. I'm just saying, he educated me. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Good shit.
You hear Tiger going off on old Dave.
She said, "You gonna stop calling her out." Damn it.
But I like to talk to the crowd. I like to talk to you.
Yeah. Yeah, we do got good energy at night. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you, James.
Yeah, no.
And that's cool, Tiger Love. Like, I appreciate monogamy as long as it's your choice and you play by those rules. Like,
thank you.
A lot of them today, they confused about the rules.
Right.
Because I'm thinking it's because they don't have much to choose from in that generation that they're coming up with. That and then the men, the reason there's so many virgins, the men are afraid to approach these women because they give off so much masculine, I don't give a fuck, I don't need a man energy. And so he like, I ain't got time for that. So he just go home, and before he go to sleep, he do his little thing, and you know, and he be chilling. That's why
like
it's so many virgins.
Like me.
And that's why men are virgins.
You know, but guess
They're
what?
afraid. They're afraid of the women.
But I don't know that. I think it's not so much a bad thing, because you should be protecting your dick just like we're supposed to be protecting our cooch.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? I think you should be valuing yourself in a better way than being out there just slinging it everywhere or whatever, especially in today's world, because the women are slinging it everywhere, right? So you should be very careful about where you put it.
Especially today. But hey, he had a question for you, Butterfly.
What's the best thing about your long distance?
Who said it was a dude?
You don't have to see him.
And what
he trying to get up on the roster.
What's your credit card? What's your credit score look like?
I only fan.
See, Quinn, that's the problem right there. Everybody be looking for the credit card. The best thing about my long distance dude.
Trying to make
my long distance dude is his level of compassion and the fact that he knows me well enough that I like the fact that he knows me even though he's not in my face, right? If I answer the phone, he know what expression I got on my face, you know, and that's intimacy, that's closeness, that's knowing me at, you know, a deeper level, right? And he's able to, And
but on the same note, Chanel, you glow different now than what you did when you first started coming on here. You look happy. You act happy. At first you was kind of to yourself and you was kind of defensive and all that. She's more open and she glows. And
you know what else? Blakk, and I appreciate that comment because I feel safe now, right? Because before it was kind of like
she feels safe in his presence.
You know what I'm saying? And you know,
so we were shocked when she started saying her boo, and we was like, "Whoa, what the fuck? Did you hear what she said?"
You know, and he been my boo for a minute, but we didn't have some things happening, whatever. But like, you know, but like the more open you become, and the more, just the more intimate, the more you get to know a person or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Yes, James, he can cook.
Sir, we need to see what you look like, because you shooting your side real hard on here.
Oh my God!
What is Astroglide? What was that?
She probably saw that long distance too. You think that's why I'm glowing, James? Because I saw a long distance dude.
Bro,
they on Butterfly. That's gonna be your new name. I like Fifth Ward Nail, but
that's Butterfly. Don't be misrepresenting my ward, dog. Night Ward Nail, talking about Fifth Ward.
The Fifth Ward. Fifth Ward Nail.
Night Ward Nail.
Oh, okay.
Stop playing with me.
But they say you smiling big when that dude come up in there. He asked, "Do you like them frats?"
Well, you know.
He a noob.
I've been with a couple.
Quita looking like, them newts really wasn't pulling them back there in Arkansas.
I'm not gonna say they're not pulling them. That's just not my. That's not my preference.
Yeah, she like them alphas in the queue.
Noops are heavy up here in DC, especially Howard University.
Yeah.
Nah, it was them alphas for us. Alphas ran it.
It's more damaging to women to engage in that behavior. They leave with a lot more emotional baggage as a result of, raising those body counts. And it's more damaging to them in the sense that they're less likely to attract a man, right? Because guys care about this. So they are going to decrease their rank in terms of, say, they were a 9 before. Now you got the high body count. You could take yourself right down to a 5 to a 4. Really, you can, because it's disgusting to men. So you're reducing your value in the sexual marketplace by doing that.
It's true. Like I'm of the mindset like, yo, live your life, but be accountable for living your life. You can't escape accountability.
And I do believe in accountability. You're right. You're right. But I'm not going to value myself less because I chose to have more experiences. Like I refuse to value myself less.
No, not you per se. They're saying that a lot of men view that, just like a lot of women.
So I'm not going to be with a man who has that type of
mentality. And just like
that means that man is. I'm not going to knock him, right? Like I said, if that's how you feel about the thing or whatever,
right? Like, just like a lot of women, don't like men that have more than 2 kids. You know, whoa, you got 5. You got 5 kids. What can you do for me? You know what I'm saying? They don't like them. You know, they'll do one.
Yeah, you have to respect the person's preference and all that. But I'm not, you know, that means I would be seeking a mate who could accept my body count or accept not knowing what it is, because maybe I ain't gonna tell you, you know, and stuff like that.
Most women lie about it though. Majority of them.
Because
they don't count that Jamaican dick that they got that time when they were on a cruise.
They went on the girls trip.
Like Chris Rock said, only domestic dick count.
Counts, right? If you went and got your groove back, that don't count.
Tiger Love asked how y'all feel about dating at the same time.
Matches, baby.
I don't put stock into that. I just put stock into how you are as a person. If you cool, we cool, and we on the same vibe, we could fuck with each other.
Because that's what matters, I think. And that's how I really.
I don't put stock into the superficial, and I think
my thing I feel like it's with maturity with me. When I was on my come up and everybody throwing stones and trying to find something to complain about, you had to be a woman had to be up here for me to even be seen with her. And I didn't want nobody that's easy to get. It's kind of like the reason the price of gold is so high is because it was rare. The reason a diamond is so expensive because you can't just go outside and pick it up like you could a rock.
Right.
So I wanted something else. Yeah, that's harder to get. If anybody can just walk outside and pick up a rock, I'm gonna walk by that rock.
Yeah.
But as far as so that's how I view women. So had everybody and like I say, Chanel seems like the type that's she ain't finna just be messing with any and everybody. If she got a body count and she hand-picked, she just wasn't drunk at a party and just having sex like they doing today.
It might have been one of them times, maybe one, when I was really, really sad. I don't know. Maybe.
Right. But it's not a regular thing.
No regular
what
basis.
I'm saying.
Right. Yeah.
So anything that anybody can just get. Guys who ain't trying to have nothing. Guys who ain't hitting on nothing. And everybody just had a. I don't even think I would even, and like the guy said, but if you fall in love, I don't even think I'll allow myself to even get that into a woman that's like that. Because if she don't value her body, she's not going to value our relationship. To me.
Didn't know, like whether she lied or whether you just didn't know, but you fell for her, and then you found out later. You think that would affect your ability to still be
well, and like I told him, it's when you know. Right. I ain't messed up on what I don't know, and I don't want to know what I don't know.
Right.
But if you know this girl in your town, or this guy in your town, that dogged out and had all these different women who dog out. Why would you even put yourself in that if you're looking for a long-term relationship?
Right.
So when I know that hoe, 304, and I'm gonna get it down by about 2 more weeks. I had that terminology. But if I know, if I know she out there like that, and I know more than 5 to 10 guys that hit that, she's not on my list to wipe. Now maybe shit. 5 more years up the road and we bump into each other and I'm on a lonely road and I ain't got nobody and I don't feel my worth is worth anymore, maybe. But as long as I'm who I am, stepping and
I
popping,
don't think you would never feel your worth ain't worth.
you know what I'm saying? Me either. So chances are little to none. So it's like I couldn't do it. If I know.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If she in my town or in my facility or on the job, and I know everybody didn't hit her on that job, they just was taking turns and she slept with 10 people. She just gonna be something to play with. I'm not gonna take her serious. We'll hang out. I don't care how emotional or how close friends we become. She's gonna get friend zone. And we'll just hang out when she ain't got nobody and I ain't got nobody, and we just boom, boom, boom.
Right.
And after that, see you. You know, it's not gonna be no
also
long.
makes sense from a psychological standpoint because if she's doing all that on the job and this and that or whatever, then there's some mental health or emotional shit going on with
And
her.
that's what I be looking for, Chanel. So whenever I say what's that word, it's mental health. When a woman do some fucked up shit, it's mental health.
Yeah, it's a mental health
When
issue.
when a man do it, he just a low down dirty dog. He ain't shit.
But men have the same level of self-esteem, mental health shit going on too that causes them to behave in some of these ways as well. You know, where they will seek the attention of. I mean, I've known men who have been thinking like women used to think that sex equaled love, right? If she didn't have sex with me, then she must not care. She must not love me or whatever. You know, and usually it's a lack of a childhood thing, like I didn't get enough love from a parent or enough affection or whatever it is. So now sex equals love because that's how we get down or whatever, you know. And usually women are victims of that mentality, but I've come into a lot of men that have that same kind of brokenness where they're like, you know, they looking for that to validate them as well.
See, and like that kind of validation is sort of what my best friend fell into.
Yeah.
Because he was in a long-term relationship and unfortunately the woman he was with, who he had 2 kids with, passed away suddenly due to a brain aneurysm. And so that kind of put him into a very dark place where he was trying to seek validation through just being out there.
Yeah.
And he wasn't very discriminate with who he was with. So he was just like, I'll take it wherever I can get it.
Mm-hmm.
And whoever is willing to give it to me, I'll take it. And as a result, he has like 12 kids as a result.
Right. Yeah. And that's not fair to anybody. That's not fair to the kids, you know, because you can't take care of 12 kids. Not on a regular salary. It's hard to take care of 2 kids on a regular salary. 1, you know, and stuff like that. It's just this, yeah. And so and again, that's going to be repeating the cycle. You know. Blakk, you got another video?
Huh?
You got another video?
No, I'm just listening to y'all right now.
You know. So,
but
you know, I'm gonna always look at the mental health aspect of all the things because that matters. We behave the way we behave because of our perceived inadequacies, right? Mm-hmm. And they're really just a perception of an inadequacy based upon what we didn't get in childhood. That's all there is to it. You know?
And to double back on something that Blakk said, I'm a little bit more progressive. I don't take into account body count, even though we've been talking about it all night. I'm more of like along the lines of how discriminatory you are. Like, I don't care that you like sex. I love sex.
Yeah,
like
it's great.
When I'm with you, I want to have it with you. I want to have it with you in as many ways as possible.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
But like, I'm not going to knock you for loving sex because I know I'm not going to be out here delusional thinking I'm planting a flag somewhere.
Right. I like that.
Like, unless I was the first one, I'm not planting the flag.
Right. Right.
So it's like love sex, but how discriminatory are you? Like,
Right.
what is the caliber of person that you're having?
That's why I said I know Chanel. She wasn't just gonna willy nilly just G it up. She was,
I had my sexual freedom, and I had a good time when I was doing what I was doing. I don't even call it HON. I call it pimping. Because I had a roster, right? And everybody
all right.
on the roster.
James gonna be trying to get on that roster.
James
there's no more roster.
Get on the roster, sweetheart. He an honorary member of the roster right now.
You know what I'm saying? I'm 51 years old. I'm about to be 52. I ain't got time for rosters.
Like
I'm saying.
I like him.
Me and my long distance dude is great. Okay.
Like I liken my situation to a baseball team. I have 2 starters and a reliever.
2 starters and a what?
Reliever.
Break that down.
No, like Blakk said, my out of town person, like when we get together, we have all the fun in the world. We go out to eat. Like we may knock each other down a few times, but then once you go back home,
back to reality.
Yeah. Okay. And if that works for y'all, then that's what works. Right. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing is people have to work with what works with them. Because a lot of people will tell them, I can't be in no long distance relationship with it. That I don't expect that everybody can, right? And it depends on the person, and it works for us because I'm an entrepreneur. I work a lot. You know what I'm saying? He work a lot. He be hustling out there. And so we find the time to spend on the phone or whatever. I went to go visit him a couple of months ago. And all that kind of stuff, hopefully he'll be, in Texas soon, but the thing is like you make it work if that's your person.
If that's what you want.
If that's your person, you make it work. You know what I'm saying? And I don't feel like I'm lacking anything, except for, I can't just call him up and go over when I want to. You know what I'm saying? But you make it work. Oh, 30, thank you, baby. Black on crack. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. He said she got to get on my business, James.
Is that why she glowing? I think he think that's why she glowing.
Yeah, probably, yeah.
Because she showed glowing.
I can't say I was good. When I came back, my kids was like, oh yeah, you good. And it's been a minute, man. I hadn't seen him since before COVID started. Like, that was a long time we without, dog. I know, Queen. I know. Now you see why I like my toys. You gotta do what you gotta do.
You waited, man. That's discipline. You a disciplined woman.
Very.
What? Shut up.
I like what I like.
Hella discipline.
And I'm not wasting my time. If
men and women wouldn't.
Somebody that takes care of the needs, that knows the parts. Like I spent a long time engaging in sexual relations with people who did not satisfy me. I'm not going through all that, and if I can get more out of this phone call, because he got great fantasy, like he real good at the fantasy talk. You know what I'm saying? I told him he should write erotica. He good at it, and stuff like that. But if you have somebody that connect with you on that level, like I said, the distance don't matter. It's the connection, right? I have been engaged in my phone sex and felt like he was present. Because that's spiritual connection. That's energy connection, right? And all that. Like
ain't no sex like mind sex.
Because that's where it's at.
Sex,
I know y'all think it's in your genitals. It's up here.
That mental, yeah.
Bruh.
That mindset.
Bruh. It's a whole different level.
They say you get the mind, the body will follow.
Hello, I promise you.
And that's why I tell them all the time. I gotta be like Ike Turner. I get up here because you ain't up there. You ain't nowhere.
Yeah, exactly.
You gotta get up there.
Just eat the gut.
You're not here and lie to me and tell me that a woman with a high body count is going to be good material for relationship versus a woman with low body count. There's no comparison.
Again,
I think
it depends.
Adjustment just on numbers. Yeah. I just don't.
It's dependent on the dude that you going. Like,
it depends on where you
the
are
only-
in life.
Thank you, Quita. It depends on where you are in life.
Where you,
Mentally,
yeah,
physically,
age, maturity.
emotionally.
The deal,
Yeah.
and like she said, where you are. The deal is the only thing that makes sense with them saying all this stuff
Mhm.
is the pair bonding thing.
Mhm.
But that depends on the mentality of that woman.
Right.
Because, like I say, also a woman to shut it down. Because a lot of women are not having orgasm. So if she finally find this guy who can make her have this uncontrollable orgasm, she like, hell, this is all I've been searching for. So
Keep him.
it's the reason why she's being promiscuous. The reason why she's being promiscuous. If she just out there because, oh girl, he look good, and she want to be the first one to sleep with him. Oh girl, he fine. Oh girl, I like his car, and she want to be the first one to sleep with him. That's different than one who's out there actually trying to find sexual satisfaction. So if she's doing that with a purpose, I feel like she can pair bond with the one who meets her sexual need. So she's not out there 304 and just a 304.
But like pair bonding also has to do with your mental and spiritual self, right? And your ability to attach to somebody, right? And in order to do that, you have to have healed those broken pieces on the inside of you. So that just may take going to therapy or, working on your mental health in some way, shape, or form, because I never want to pretend like therapy is the be all end all and stuff like that. But being able to work on yourself to the point where you can, because if you ain't bonded to yourself, you can't bond to nobody else.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And so that work needs to be done. And maybe that's why she out there willy-nilly in it or whatever, because she's not self-connected. Just saying.
And that's what I had to realize with OnlyFans.
Yeah.
I was searching for something, and it took me to experience that to realize that's not what I wanted. So I had to find what I wanted. I had to be happy with myself.
Mm-hmm.
When I made the decision, I got off OnlyFans.
That's it.
Yeah, and that's why
you needed that experience in order to grow. Right. It was necessary for your growth, right?
Yeah.
And
that's why y'all see so many times my posts always be about self-love is the best love. Mm-hmm. Until you can really love yourself, you really can't love nobody else. You can have love for somebody else,
right?
But to actually love somebody, you got to love yourself first, because I've seen so many females get in relationships that don't love themselves, and they wonder why the relationships are so temporary. It's because you really don't know how to love because you don't love yourself.
Yeah.
And that's the issue with a lot of people that's dating today, especially since social media came along. Before social media, you could have felt like you had it going on and you the shit. But then when you go to social media and you see this going on, that going on, the mental anxiety can kick in. Oh, well, I need to be doing this, but I can't. Oh, wow, they have this and I don't have that. I need to add this to my repertoire, but I don't have the funds or the means to do that. And that could really beat a person who has high esteem.
I need to go get a BBL. Comparison, like you are your own competition. Like we are all unique in our own ways, and you have to honor that about yourself, right? The moment you stop comparing yourself to everybody else, you're way better off.
And I agree with that, and I agree with what Blakk said, because like before social media, your frame of reference was like just so small.
Oh yeah,
limited to like your immediate surroundings and your immediate area. But now, like you see
the world.
Yeah, you see the world, and like a lot of people aren't ready for that. They're not like it's like you realize how small you are in comparison.
Yeah.
And that's where a lot of the depression, the mental health issues, a lot of that came from social media. Before social media, it wasn't too many blacks killing themselves. It wasn't too many, because the blacks used to just be thankful for what they had.
Mm-hmm.
Social media came, the prettiest girl in school felt ugly and killed herself. So it's like it's crazy.
Like that's why I tell people constantly, like, I don't live my life on social media.
You can't.
Like you won't see, like if you went to my Facebook page, like Blakk is a friend of mine on Facebook, you don't see anything personal, like very little personal about myself on social media, because that's just not the person I am. I don't.
That's
feel
me.
the need, I don't feel the need.
And when I started dating, and then with the wife, they like, why you not posting, me on social media? You must gotta say that is a DJ Blakk page.
Thank you.
Wayne don't put his personal stuff on that page.
No.
That's I'm a secret type person. People don't know what's going on in my life. You see what I put out there.
It's not even that I'm a secretive person. I told, like, one woman that I broke up with, like, was like that. Like, why you ain't posting us on social media? Da 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 da. I'm like, people who know us in real life know what's up.
Oh, thank you. And that's who matters.
Like people who matter to us,
that matter,
what's going on in our lives. We don't need to detail and chronicle every portion of what we're doing just so people can view a small snippet of what they think is going on.
They think is going on.
Okay, so you have to know your person as well.
That's true.
If your person don't post like that, then you shouldn't expect it. But if I see you sharing everybody and their baby mama, you gonna share me.
That makes sense.
That's why you don't see that on my page at all.
But that's what I'm saying. You have to know your person. So you can't get upset if they're not posting you, if they don't post their personal situations or their life. You know what I'm saying? You don't get upset about that because you know your person.
Right.
But if they do share like that, then what's the problem with sharing me?
And I've told women, like, due to that situation, like, up front, I've told women going forward, like, yo, if you need a dude who's constantly heavy with the social media presence with you on there with him, I'm not the one.
Right.
I'm not it.
I'm saying,
I live my life in real life.
Thank you.
Right.
Thank you. I say, I use social media for more business than anything else now.
Like I'm outside the matrix.
Right, exactly.
Yeah,
because if they're gonna show you the snippet, and they're gonna show you the good snippets, and then comparing yourself.
You live in there. You
so got married, so and with the Paris and all that.
She ain't tell you so and so going upside their head.
Right, it's like they're not gonna post
it. She don't tell you so and so got 3 or 4 babies on them while they was engaged. She don't tell you that.
I'm like, yeah, so and so done went to Paris, but you ain't seen all the shit that came before that. What they had to sacrifice to get to that.
Come on. Yeah. So you can't compare your story to everybody else's. Like, we all individuals.
Yeah, because like I say, if you're doing that on the cool, social media will depress your ass. If you ain't like David said, if you ain't ready for it, it will depress your ass.
I think another thing is us as a Black community, mental health wasn't something for us. Like, we didn't, if you had an issue, it's like, oh, you'll be okay. Like, you was taught to deal. We are I promise we have got to be the strongest race.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
We deal with a whole lot. And like, I guess the older generation didn't believe in, going to see a psychiatrist and talking about.
Well, remember, we couldn't trust the systems in place, right? Because as Black people, we couldn't go to these white doctors and get good health care. They experimented on us. They stole DNA. They stole blood. We were like lab rats for them, right? And so when you don't trust the community that's supposed to help you, then don't you go to no psychiatrist. Don't you go to no doctor or whatever. They just gonna hypnotize you and mind control you, like, because that's the state that we've been in as Black people, right? And so now we can do a lot better with that because we have people like me behind the desk, right? We have more people that's like us that wants to serve us and make sure that we're okay.
I disagree that we're the strongest race. I think we're just most adept to operating while fucked up.
That don't make us strongest?
No, it doesn't. It just means like we've accepted this as our normal.
Yeah. Yeah, true. That's true.
This is the strongest race.
I would say like Hispanic people are, honestly. because Hispanic people leave everything they have behind to come here to start from fucking nothing and build a life.
They volunteered for it.
Yeah,
we were
and be
volunteered.
successful at it. So
we was voluntold. They volunteer. They choose this, and as a community from back when, originally we didn't necessarily choose it.
Like we strive for individualism because we were treated as monolithic up until a certain point. Spanish people are stronger because they come here as communities and build their communities here from literally nothing. We strive to do this. They strive for this.
We was taught to do that though.
So
we were
that's
conditioned
why,
to do that.
Yeah, we're conditioned to want what the quote unquote American dream is, and the American dream is individualism. Like Spanish people come here from individualism and band together.
In order to do the thing.
So that's why I say
Asian community does that too, though.
Yeah, but not in the way that like they don't start from nothing. They don't start from nothing. Like they come here. Like they come here with a support system in place.
Okay, that makes sense.
Like Spanish people literally are coming from like built up establishment. Like their lives are literally back where they came from, and oftentimes they're coming here illegally just to get a small piece of something.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Because that small piece of something is infinitely better than what they had.
I definitely was gonna ask about that because when they get a green card, they give them credit.
Like getting a green card in this country is difficult. It's not as
very difficult. Oh my God, I've learned a lot about that too.
Like the process is not as easy as advertised. Like you have to prove worth. Like you literally have to prove why you would be an asset to the
country. Yeah.
And then on top of it, you have to prove that you're not a criminal, like that you will be a law-abiding citizen, that you can pass a civics test. And then on top of that, if you prove all of that, you have to win a lottery.
That's true. Yeah. Everybody that proved themselves don't get in. That's crazy, right? Yeah.
And there's only 50,000 green cards issued per year in this lottery. So
get out of here. I didn't know that.
And there's millions of people trying to get in from various countries.
Right. Wow. This is America.
So it's not like Spanish people are coming in here like, oh, we're like they can't afford to be weak because they have no net to catch them.
I feel that. So I got mad respect for him, man. Mad respect. You know. You ready to wrap this up, Blakk?
Yeah. We can go ahead and doctorship, as we call it. But yeah, I would like to thank Quita. Y'all help me with these names. We got Quita. We got Chantel. We got Quita. Tiger put on the show. And so did James. We give it to Tiger and James. James poked at the butterflies, and Tiger went at it with my man David.
Right.
James trying to get on the roster, yo.
He is.
Roster.
He honorary right
now. And Quita showed up and stayed the duration. This is the first. I am totally shocked, on top of honored, and I like to thank you for coming in and sharing your thoughts, and you know that was deep.
It is nice to have another woman on the show doing the thing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
We're gonna have to get y'all on.
Yeah, that's what we need.
Have to get you a date so we can bring y'all on.
For sure.
Yeah, that's what's up. Yeah, she got tell them about your podcast, name of it, and everything.
Okay, so I am on the CAF podcast. You can follow us on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. You can also follow me on Instagram at it's Quita G. It's _ Quita G. I had to retire my OnlyFans name, so I had to change my stuff.
Good job.
You can also find me on here, Naquita Glass, and also follow Touch of Glass.
And I got a spot on her show too, so y'all should watch that too.
Absolutely.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
When I get my shit back together,
David on here
back
because he
on my
look
podcast
crazy.
when I get my shit together. You know what I'm saying? I'm ready to be on everybody's stuff. But
I ain't crazy. I ain't crazy. I'm
You're not
nice.
crazy. You a little spicy. Like you be.
But you are spicy though.
Ooh.
Good spicy though.
Some of this stuff, I was like, yeah.
You know, I'm from the South. I'm from New Orleans. It's all about the spicy, baby.
I'm from Jersey, but my dad is from Jamaica, so you know I got the.
See, there go the spicy right there, right there.
That's all right.
I appreciate
That
this
jerk
though.
chicken.
It's dope.
Yeah, this was good. This was good. You know. So.
But yeah, do what you do on that sexual thing. But like Chanel said, y'all be careful out there. It's not what it used to be, and women start taking a little bit more value in yourself. Men and I'm gonna say people, period, work hard to get things that's hard to obtain. That's why you see people. If everybody could drive a Tesla, they wouldn't cost what they cost and wouldn't do what they do. So, you know, make yourself stand out and above. Don't just be there for anybody. Anybody can go in the back of anybody's yard and pull out a trash bag. You know what I'm saying? They go on the side of the road doing trash night and pull out a trash bag. Don't know person that value themselves. They don't too much, you know, care for this. So just kind of, you know, have a little bit more value for yourself. It's not.
If you're struggling in that area, go talk to somebody. Get your mind space together. Get your heart space together. Get your spirit together.
And I got one last thing to say, man. Like I have no issue with people who value themselves and hold themselves up in their minds. Like self-confidence is a beautiful thing for me, but there's a line between self-confidence and delusion. And you have to learn that. And you have to stop looking at yourself when you're like after something through your own eyes. You got to learn to look at yourself as the world sees you.
Yeah.
And the world may not see you as you see you. Like 99% of the time, that is the case. And you have to accept that. Like you have to know your value as it pertains to the rest of the world.
And what you are looking for.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's real.
Yeah.
All right, Chanelli, let me hear you.
Like I said, I already tell y'all, like, get your mental health together. Because a lot of this stuff is just, you know, it's unmet needs. It's unmet needs. I've been through it. We done been through it. Many men have been through it, you know, and all that. And you have to find your self-value and worth. And usually that comes with dealing with your demons, dealing with your inadequacies, dealing with how you think and feel about yourself and all that. And so nobody's shaming you by far, but get your shit together. You know what I'm saying? We're not about that bullshit. Let's do it.
And now we got Quita, who is currently going through finding herself and learning self-love. So what advice you give to him from the journey that you've had so far in what you're doing?
I actually didn't know that I had lost myself. I didn't even know I had tapped out on my own life.
You didn't know. You don't be knowing.
Didn't know. I was kicking it. So honestly, like, just be aware of your surroundings. Like, people would be like, oh, you always out. Like, my lifestyle had changed drastically. But that came from me, like Chanel said, like, get your mental health together. I had completely tapped out on my own lifestyle and didn't care.
Yeah.
But that was me because I didn't want to deal with the BS that I had going on.
There you go.
So the way I dealt with it was I stayed out. I ran from what I had going
hid
on.
in the streets.
Yeah. So.
And people hide in the streets. They hide in sex. They hide in drugs. They hide in alcohol. They hide in work. You always find a place to hide, baby. You hide in food.
Definitely
hide somewhere.
Partying and sex was definitely my go-to.
I feel it. I feel
it. What she said, get your mental health together.
Yeah. I'm about to start some women groups too. So like to be on the lookout. A couple of weeks probably. Yeah.
Well, you know, anything you need on this side, flyers or whatever, you know I'm here. So just hit me up, let me know.
You got it.
And with that being said, we about to get up out of here. It was a pleasure working with everybody. I enjoyed tonight. We had good vibes, great energy.
Yeah.
And until next week, same time, same channel, we're out. Peace. Women do what you allow them to do, and vice versa with the women. A man gonna do what you allow him to do, and if you don't know your worth, you'll put up with that bullshit. But when you know your worth and you know you don't have to put up with it, you ain't gonna put up with it.
The girl was like, well, if I decide I want to wear a string bikini, to the beach and all that, I don't deserve to be harassed. And if you got a problem with that as my man, that's a problem. He was like, look, I'm not, like, you shouldn't be harassed. You're right. You shouldn't be harassed. However, they got creeps out there. Period. There are creeps out there. And so you have to be mindful. He's like, I'm not worried about my woman per se. She fine and she putting it out. Okay, cool. However, they gonna have somebody that's gonna disrespect that boundary. They gonna have somebody that's gonna do something to handle because they don't have the respect.
Right.
That's who I'm looking out for. That's who I'm afraid of you attracting, right? And stuff. And so that's real talk. Like, you're going to attract the creeps with that. A woman is tight because she's nervous. It's a muscle. So if I'm nervous and I'm not comfortable, then it's gonna be tight. That don't mean necessarily that it was just
preach my thunder, because when you're loose and like that, you want to know what we doing? We getting ready to orgasm. It's called bottoming out. We're letting that bottom drop so you can hit what we need you to hit, so we can get what we want. If you notice, every time before the orgasm, it goes loose. Pay attention. Before her orgasm, not your orgasm is tight because she's working for you. Her orgasm is loose every time. She don't squeeze during the orgasm. She squeezes after the orgasm because she's trying to stop it. It's a reflex after. And I'm sorry, y'all not moving, shaking. I got the phone in my hand. That's how I keep my glasses. That's how it works.
There are some decent women out there that may have kids that are able to hold it down for themselves and still be able to accept a man into their lives in a man's role. So
see, the thing is, when you just say you be the woman that's holding it down by herself, this is the problem right here. In today, in the 21st century, a lot of women, they don't want to have no damn discipline. They don't want no man to come in and tell them what to do. They don't want to follow no rules. They want to sit there and say they want a strong man. As soon as that man show up and start trying to lay down structure and foundation, they flee. Oh, you trying to boss me around. You trying to tell me what to do. All this nonsense. You want me to be submissive. I ain't no slave.
No, Rick,
all this goofy shit.
You're narcissistic. That's the new word.
Yeah, that or toxic masculinity. All these other shaming tactics they got trying to do.
You hate women.